Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me.
Whoa, bro. Looking good, man. You working out? You lost weight? Wow. Great suit, by the way. You working out, man? You're looking good. That's a nice suit. What is that? What is that made of? You know, velour? What, a silk robe?
Affection, but I'm lost in the puzzle, no logical connection. You give me hints, but they lead to contradiction. Using fake moon bombs in a cruel deception. Oh, you know you're a mystery to me. Every clue I find only adds to the twin intrigue. I'm stuck in this vicious cycle that's so intense. Megan Fox searching for the truth in this perplexing romance. Things really get this far. What is justice but a declining star? Suing journalists that report this affliction while writing articles for some twisted attention. Amazon twins, though they're hard to prove, and your past history's not something you can remove. That umbrella guy calling out what I see, with props to Dave, Neil, and Allergic.
All right, with props to Dave, Neil, and allegedly. Man, how is it going today, folks? I swear. You know, I got a weird thing today, by the way. I got a message from YouTube telling me that certain links won't be, they're like no-nos. Hey, wait, here comes Megan Fox right after the intro. That's perfect, Megan.
I wasn't that late.
No, you popped in right when the intro ended, pretty much.
I knew you probably weren't checking your text, but I was like, I'm on my way. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, and then my kid made a mess. Never mind.
No, man, I get it. I was like trying to direct them earlier. Actually, I had this crazy thing happen. So I found out like 4 years ago that I'm allergic to this dye that it's very rarely used, but I took a multivitamin once, and when I took this vitamin, it used a blue number 6 something. You know, it's got a whole mess behind it. But I was allergic to it, and I found that out the hard way, not a fun way. Well, the other day, somebody gave me a bunch of groceries, which I appreciated, by the way, and it included peanut butter and jelly from the Walmart brand. Never opened or anything, I mean, again, nothing with the people, but I ate it, and it doesn't list having that in there, but it has to be because I had an allergic reaction to it, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
No.
I feel like I've been rolling around in poison ivy.
Oh, no.
But what was weird, I was like, they don't list that in there, and it has to be because I'm not allergic to a lot of stuff, but this one random weird thing is in your food and you don't know it's there. That's creepy.
Yeah, that's bad. No, I hate allergic reactions. I've had a few myself, and it's not fun. I have this one allergy to this medicine that has red dye in it. Your story reminded me of that because I forget sometimes that I'm allergic to it, and it's an over-the-counter thing. And I every time if I take it and I haven't eaten, I will vomit, like projectile vomit. And it's got red dye in it. So anything that it hits is going to be
it looks
orange.
bad. Oh,
yeah.
no.
And I actually ruined my wedding shoes like this.
Oh, no. That's...
I was on my honeymoon, and the worst part is that I was on my honeymoon and I was wearing my wedding shoes out to dinner, and they were just sandals, but they were jelly sandals. They had like a jelly strap. I know, it was it was just out of the 90s. Don't judge me. And we were out to dinner, and I had taken this pill, and I didn't eat yet. So we were sitting at the table waiting for our food. And I was like, I said to my husband, oh my God, I don't feel good. I got to get out of here. And I jumped up and I ran out of the restaurant. We're on Maui. So we're downtown Maui. There's people everywhere. I run out of the restaurant. I make it to the bushes and in front of people eating. This is the most embarrassing moment of my life. Almost. There's another one that's worse, and I start puking in the bushes. Now, of course, I'm on Maui. It's nighttime. It's a party scene. Everyone thinks I'm drunk. I am not drunk. I'm just having a severe reaction to this medication that I always forget I'm allergic to. And it went all over my feet and my shoes. And those jelly sandals turned yellow. I was so heartbroken. I was crying and sobbing.
Oh, no.
It was so bad. My poor husband. He was trying to, hold my hair and tell me it was okay while dying silently inside because everyone was staring at us.
That's awful.
It was bad. It was bad. I hope no one was eating during that story.
Yeah,
like the poor people out on the
Fun
deck.
times. Well, I found a few things I'm allergic. Like, I'm allergic to getting punched. I break out in bruises, and I think I'm allergic to. Anytime I talk about Laura Owens, I laugh a lot. So, Speaking of her, she seems to be really, really dedicated to the idea of sending herself to jail. I was just getting to sit down with a lot of her newness. The new stupid that she has written. Her and her lawyer, and my God, these people are idiots. I mean,
it's really unfortunate. We were kind of joking about this on Twitter, but it's not really a joke. If I were in her position, if I ever one day need a lawyer to defend me from some dumb shit that I did, where, it's not going well for me and the public is upset with me, I'm hiring, probably my sister, who would absolutely take my phone, take my laptop, check me into one of those wellness centers or retreats, or possibly like an ashram, where I just work in a garden all day and like eat vegetables and lose some weight and can't find out what's going on in the real world. Seriously, that's and then have my lawyer fight while I'm not there.
Well, we've had a lot of talks about the social media, and how social media, if you have any, like a real issue that you need to step, you either need to be able not to say anything or you need to be able to step away from it. So a lot of people can't do
encouraging her to make statements. And she's writing now on Medium again, and she wrote a statement on Facebook, and she's making conflicting statements, and she's about to be investigated criminally.
Yep. Well, good. I'm proud of her for it. I'm like, you know what? Make more. Yeah. I agree with your lawyer's advice. I agree with them. I think they should both write more articles, do more interviews. By the way, speaking of interviews, and this annoys me, like a lot of people, I understand people want articles from these folks. They are a necessary evil to a point, but mainstream media is a bunch of fucking cowards. Like Megan Fox wrote articles from the beginning and invested and understood this story. So, you put in the time. They not only have not covered this until it's simple, but they're covering it incorrectly. I mean, look at all these articles that have been popping up. They're like,
it makes me so mad. People finally changed their headline, I think. Let's see. Can you scroll? Where's the people one? There it is. Clayton Echard speaks out.
No, that's the second one.
Where's the first one they did?
Yes, there it is. Clayton Echard paternity suit. former
Okay,
bachelor
so
starts legal
they got a
victory.
lot of
Yeah.
pushback for their headline because the first headline was Clayton Echard lawsuit gets tossed. And it was
Yep.
like, no. It was a total victory. You don't use
Yeah.
the phrase gets tossed when you get a
Yeah.
decision in your favor. Who are these, morons who write these headlines?
The only thing that got tossed was any hope of her being able to do Medium or TEDx or get invited to anything again outside of Medium. She can control that, but she may get banned off that too. After I was thinking about this. Most of these places, they have harassment policies. She has been found guilty as a serial harasser, serial liar. She could be banned off everything because she's still going after these people.
I talked to my sister today. She's been a lawyer for a very long time, and she was a judge for a while. I asked her, give me your opinion on, a judge in a civil case referring a litigant for prosecution for felonies. How many times have you seen it? Her response to me was, never. I've never seen it. Now, and I've never seen it either until cases, especially family law. I have never seen it in family law. I'll tell you what I've seen. I have seen judges in family law courts hold someone in contempt and put them in jail themselves.
Yeah.
But that is not the same thing. Well, it is a criminal.
And that rarely happens too. To be honest,
it happens more than it should in family court.
You don't see a lot. You don't see this type of a person get punished. You see it happen too often.
You see it happen to innocent people who want to tell the media what's happening to them in court. And then the judge gets offended and gags them. And then the person goes and talks again. And then the judge throws them in jail. All of that is unconstitutional. I see that happen a lot. I have literally never, and neither has my sister, ever seen a judge in civil court do this. And it's not that they don't have the power. It's just that they use it so little because it is a massive power for a sitting judge, a superior court judge, to turn to the county prosecutor and go, hey, Rachel, I got a hot one for you. That's very unusual, And it's great, though, because it carries a lot of weight. I mean, she also said, though, my sister said she knew that Gingras was going to make a big deal out of Judge Modest, the rumors that her father was there. We don't even know if that was true, by the way. Third-hand hearsay.
I think he's actually calling out Dave Neal because, check this out. I was looking at all his pictures. And look at this one. He's trying to out shorts him. Look at that, man.
He dug around in his wife's suitcase for those. You got to admire a man who has the balls to wear his wife's shorts, Todd.
Hey, has the balls. You may be able to tell if he really does pretty soon. I was just like, man, it's a short off, man. Good Lord.
Dave Neal says, oh, Meg, your sister is a lawyer? You don't say. I'm becoming like Ben Shapiro. Did you know that my wife is a doctor? Every time. My sister is a lawyer. That's true.
Oh,
He's calling me out again. Dave.
I love it, though.
Look
at that, Dave. Dave, you're going to have to...
Oh, no, they're far too long. He's not even in the same category as
Dave's like, you want to bet he's going to come out in a loincloth or something? He's going to be like, these are shorts.
Dave's got Magnum PI level shorts going on. That is the correct length of short for a man, is how Magnum PI wears them, by the way. How Magnum PI and Dave Neal wear shorts.
See, I don't wear shorts, actually. I think the correct answer is I never wear shorts. Cult? I don't wear any shorts. I'm in the no shorts cult. Man, I live out in the sticks, man. You go out here.
I learned that you don't wear jeans either.
I wear
Didn't you tell me you don't wear jeans?
No, I wear dress jeans. I don't wear blue jeans, no. Ever.
Yeah, you don't wear blue jeans. I'm shocked by that.
I don't like tight-fitting clothing. I don't like anything
Yeah, but you don't have to wear tight jeans. You've never had like
no, I like
jeans?
Dress slacks, that kind of.
I know he wears. Can you believe Tug wears dress slacks everywhere he goes?
Yeah, I wear them in the fucking woods, like running around. What are you talking about?
I don't get it. Do you wear what about what are the ones with all the pockets that are lightweight?
Oh yeah,
What do you
yeah,
call
like
those?
the cargo
Yeah,
pants.
cargo pants. That I can see you
I
wear. For some reason, I just can't see you in dress pants. I don't know why.
not
Then
really,
again,
you know.
you're a cartoon. I don't know why
Yeah.
I can't picture a cartoon in dress pants.
I wear around like a dress casual, like a button-up shirts normally, and
That's so funny.
freaking yeah, dress casual pants. It's just like I said, I'll run around in the wood. My kids are like, yeah, you're ruining your, they're decent shirts. I'm like, who cares? I'll find some more on clearance.
So my
but
uncle was just visiting me from Hawaii, and he's so funny. He goes, "Do you have a thrift store around here?" I said, "Yeah, there's a Goodwill." He goes, "I want to go." I said, "Well, okay, what are you looking for?" He goes, "Hawaiian shirts." I said, "Hawaiian shirts in New York? You're not going to find a
I
Hawaiian
like
shirt in New
those
York." And he
white
goes,
shirts.
"Oh yeah, I will." Because people go to Hawaii and then they come home and they don't want them anymore. So they give them away. He goes, "Everywhere I go on the mainland, I find Hawaiian shirts." I was like, "I don't think you're going to find them here." Sure enough, he didn't find one.
You can find them at like outletters and stuff, but usually you don't find anything like that at the thrift store. I don't usually anyway. Maybe you got a better upscale here in Tennessee. My God, if you want camouflage or something, you're good to go. Though,
Oh yeah, there's tons of camo here. We're in
Yeah.
hunting town. There's just I would think we would have more Hawaiian shirts because it's also a lake town. So you'd think like with the boating community, you'd have like, that Jimmy Buffett thing, but you don't really see the Hawaiian shirt here. I think it needs to make a comeback. I like the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I like them. Now there's some. I've ended up with a few that look like a rainbow puked on my shirt, and it's kind of like, I don't know about that. That one, yeah, I'm going to wear that one into the woods. Maybe it won't come back, you know what I mean? But everyone else, no. But I do like a basic one. I think they look good. I see. I can't decide tonight if I want to look at the Gingras blog or her exact when judges play.
Oh, okay. So her Medium article is basically a copy of his, and it's far less annoying than his. So if I'm voting for one over the other, I'm voting for hers because it's shorter. His goes on forever. Oh God, and he talks about himself again. Oh my, I had this case. You might not know this, but I had this case that he's already talked about 8,000 times. No one cares.
I like that right away when I'm rolling down into it, I can see this sweet super chat cheddar. You know what's funny is that's something like, that I say that all the time. I'm like, give me that super chat cheddar, baby. And I'm like, he listens to us because it's like that sweet super chat cheddar.
Oh God, that sweet super chat cheddar.
Yeah,
Well,
hit me up with
we're
that
just
sweet
what are we?
chat
We're the
cheddar,
mouse
baby.
crew now. We're the cheddar eating mouse crew. We're just scurrying around the floor, and our little furry mouse tails swinging, looking for that super sweet cheddar. Send mouse
I like
cheddar,
that
folks.
he said that you were nothing but a MAGA cult wannabe. He said that you didn't matter. He forgot your name while typing out the sentences, and yet you matter enough now that your words, oh, the father? They said, what? And I was like, wait, are you listening to Megan Fox? Is that what's happening? I thought you didn't, buddy.
Ugh. Well, apparently he does very, very intently. Hey, Jessica Reloaded, thanks for the raid.
Ooh, thank you, by the way. Appreciate the raid.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's something. I hate the way he writes. I had to skip over all of the crap about him. It's totally irrelevant.
Oh, I see, it hurts me inside because you suffer from this. I'm a completionist. I need to see it. I need to. There's like something in me that needs to see it. But
all right, fine. Let's read it. But remind me
I don't
when
know
we're
if
done.
I don't think we're going to read his tonight. I think
Remind me
do
when we're done.
hers,
Well, actually,
and
we
then-
need to at least read the part about her father because I sent him another press inquiry. And after we read this, I will read to you my press inquiry.
You
How
need
about
to.
that?
If he doesn't answer for some reason, which
He
I
didn't
don't know if
answer. I already wrote
Well,
the article.
he's like, I'm on vacation, Megan.
Well, he told me not to ever email him again, but I told him no, I decline. I'm going to email you again if I need to.
Put it in an article. Be like, hey, since I did not get a follow-up to this, maybe his email is broken, I'm going to put this out here and just address it.
It's really funny. I'm considering doing an addition to the musical.
He is my favorite lawyer, by the way.
He's my favorite lawyer. You
I've
can't
been
have
saying
him as
that
a favorite
forever.
lawyer.
I was like, tramp stamp for life.
I called him first.
No, no. I tramp stamped him already. He's mine. That's like property.
Live David Gingras. Long live. I hope David Gingras lives to represent more liars for years and years that we can cover, because he is hilarious.
Well, yep. He definitely, I've seen people bungle cases before, but my God, not like this. I've never. It's like these guys really, when we talk about, anytime something comes up, people are like, oh, those are just CIA plans or whatever. I really feel like this guy sometimes, I'm like, is he a plant? Like, this can't be real, can it?
I know. It feels like a prank. It feels like what's his name?
We're
from
getting punked.
That 70s show is going to pop out.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher's going to be like,
Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is going to show up on Gingras' Twitter account with like a video, and he's going to be like, "Ha ha! You all got punked."
Maybe Danny Masterson needs a new attorney since he's in prison. Call in Mr. Gingras.
Oh God!
Then we could get Ashton Kutcher for real. He could pop out, and we could be like, "No, it is real! Oh my God!" If that happens, by the way, and you get referred that work, I need a percentage. I'm just saying.
Oh, and also I wrote a new article today. Well,
yeah, I saw that. Actually, let's pull that.
At 3 a.m.
Let me pull that up first, because I feel like we see all these other articles out there, but only one person seriously has covered this. It's as far as media
that is a writer doing actual journalism,
yeah,
where I'm writing things for a publication who actually knows this case. There is no one else. No one else, not The Sun, not People, not US Weekly, all these people, even Jimmy Jenkins down there at the Arizona Republic, who refuses to write anything else. I sent that guy the order. I was like, hey, Jimmy, check this out. No response. I'm like, Jimmy, this is pretty groundbreaking. She referred her for prosecution, Jimmy. Jimmy, don't you want to write about this? But they don't. He doesn't.
I dropped it into the chat. If you would, give it plenty of clicks.
Let's get it trending.
Yeah. Click it multiple times.
Clickety-click, it, folks.
Click it. VPN switch over. Click it again.
Well, listen, here's the thing. I haven't been able to write very much because of my neck problems. And so I used to write a whole lot more on PJ Media. So it's really nice for my bosses if when I do write something, it flies to the top of the charts. And you can see there's a little trending chart at the top of PJ Media. It has the top 3 articles. Mm-hmm. And right now it's not up there. And I know that you guys can help me get it there. I know you can.
I've seen them do that to a bunch of other articles. So,
they can do it.
I know they can do it for sure. Well, and this, it's important. What you have right now, you have a lot of outlets that want to ignore stories because everything's so political right now. It's 2024. Let's force feed everyone politics, and people want to set everything aside. Megan and I were actually talking about this, and we were talking about one of the great things about cases like this. In this case here, if you look at some of the main people that are covering it, when you look at politics and everything else, you saw the reaction to Megan Fox with Reddit, right? But now that's not there anymore. Everybody, there was that initial, I don't know, and then that went away. Everybody was united on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And God, we could have these great unifiers if we could just get people to understand the point to it. And we can be powerful. We can, if we take that momentum and you roll it into other false accusation cases, pretty soon.
Well, we had it in Johnny Depp. We have it now in this case. We had it in the Kowalski case. These court cases, unbelievably, these court cases are bringing Americans together and making Americans friends again like nothing I've ever seen. And that's really, I even have merch that says make Americans friends again, because since 2020, I have been so disheartened by the division that the media has created, that politics have created. And I think that what I'm saying, Dave Neal, is not that you united everyone, but Laura Owens, she fixed this country. And people like Amber Heard can bring us all together so that we don't see our differences and we only see the things that we agree on. And we agree that people should not be able to lie without having to a judge under oath. Without having a consequence. We agree that law and order is important. We agree that our justice system matters and that we want to see justice done. And we believe victims. We all agree that we want victims to get justice. It's kind of amazing. I love seeing it. I made a joke with Dave on the live stream this morning about how I don't care what your party is. If you'll help me with whatever case that I'm working on that I think justice hasn't been done, I will help you get reelected. So I don't care if you're a Marxist, and that's like painful for me to say. But it was so funny because in my comments after that stream, there were people rolling around laughing, having such a great time saying, I'm desperately looking for a Marxist to help with the Laura Owens case so that Megan will have to help the left. And then I just think that is so fun. And I think it's great that people can put aside there. And I get so many comments from people who are like, I don't line up with you politically, but I love your show and I love the topics. And it's great that we can have that we can agree on these things. And you know what? Put the other shit aside. Like, who cares about taxes and all that? Like, you can care about that when you go vote, but we can put that aside when we're talking about things that affect every person. All of our sons are affected by this. Our brothers, our fathers, we all have that in common.
All women, man. I mean, you're taking a false accuser takes the worst thing that ever happened to a person, and they don't see it as that because they don't live it. What they see is clout, and your suffering is not another person's clout, and they need to be reminded of that.
Yep.
I was out my cigar too. That dramatic pause wasn't actually intentional. I was like, well, that wasn't bad. It was a dramatic pause. I was like, whoops.
But I do think it's interesting that these dastardly characters, who've popped up over the last couple of years, like Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital and Amber Heard and now Laura Owens, like these people who remind us that there really is something out there that should be stopped and limited and controlled, that we all have a power to kind of do that, to help that happen. Is awesome. It's awesome.
And we've got to find a way to present this where people listen, depending on who it comes from. Some people will just automatically tune out. That's why it's so important, when you're looking at people and you're building momentum, when you cross over into other audiences, you may hate like some stuff people say. There's a lot of, especially like free speech channels, they offend the shit. I saw that a lot with like Depp, for example. People would pop on the channel and be like, oh my God, they said what? And it was like, it doesn't matter what they say. They're saying it to 400,000 people and they're telling you that this is a problem, and if they're doing that, that's big time. You want these cases to get in front of more and more people. We don't need the media. The media came in and cleaned up in the aftermath. Really, it was all these other folks that introduced it and found evidence that was used in the court. You don't control the outcome in a court, but you damn well found enough stuff that proved that this person was a fucking liar. And other people were, there were more cases. And then, well, luckily an internet lawyer helped out with all that too. Props to you, David.
And the fact that Laura is out and out claiming that our involvement somehow influenced the court.
That's how they do it,
it's
though.
Outrageous.
They always do that. They always
I know that
do it, though.
Remember, Elaine Bredehoft was constantly like, the social media, it's the social media, Judge. The social media is just, the jurors have to be seeing it. They've all seen it, and and no, that's not the case. What the media does outside the court has nothing to do with what goes on inside the court. And by the way, a judge, I don't have any idea if I have no thoughts that the judge, I've never tried to contact the judge because I would never do that. That's crazy.
No, let's see, who involved in all of this would
Who
contact
tried to
the
contact
judge?
judges? Yeah.
Yeah,
That is not something that the media does. I might call the judge's assistant, to find out about what forms I have to fill out, but that's totally different than trying to contact a judge, right? So the judge, I don't know what she's watching or doing, but by the way, there are no rules against judges watching the news about cases that they're presiding over. Did you know that?
Apparently they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
There is no rules about that I'm aware of. So if she did, and if she was aware of the coverage, although she's probably so busy with her schedule, how she probably has no time for that. But it wouldn't matter. We're not talking about a jury trial here. The jury is the ones who are not allowed to look at the news. But a judge like Judge Carroll, we were always talking about Judge Carroll in the Kowalski trial. We knew he was watching us because he would give us nods in his motions to our jokes. And that's okay. He's allowed to watch the press in a case he's covering. That is not against the rules.
Well, the judges are allowed to. The judges can do whatever. The judges, yeah, they're allowed to tune in. That's how they find out whether or not they want the lawyers talking about things, or they find that out because they do monitor the press.
Right. Sometimes, like for instance, Penny Ascarati, Judge Penny, she had a couple of moments, a little come to Jesus sidebars when we read all the sidebars on Jeff's channel. Yep. She had a few come to Jesus meetings with the lawyers, and she was like, excuse me, but counsel yesterday on CNN or whatever, you were seen posing for pictures. I remember this was an actual sidebar. She was like, you were seen posing for pictures outside with the crowd. That is totally unacceptable. And I do not want to see it again. Right? How would she know that?
Yep,
other than
exactly.
She's paying attention. There is nothing wrong with judges have a lot of leeway to do a lot of, research on their own, etc.
We've seen a lot of bad judges too, and in this case, the judge gave Laura Owens every opportunity to present rape. All she had to do was present that one record she says exists, Planned Parenthood. If she could have presented that record for real, it doesn't exist, because that would exonerate her. She would be out of it right there. Hey, here's the fake name that I checked in under. That would legitimize the scan that she says that she had, on the day that they were closed, because suddenly they opened it up for whatever reason, but she didn't. So, she gave her every opportunity to I won't say win this, but to get out of it with no consequences.
Yeah, it's funny. Of all the cases I've ever seen, I never really expected any judge to refer somebody to prosecution. I thought that Amber Heard, she did some terrible things, but you couldn't really pin down something that was out and out, in your face perjury. She never admitted to perjury on the stand, right? We knew she was lying. It was clear that there were inconsistencies in her statements. But she didn't admit, the words, I doctored the evidence, never came out of her mouth.
Right.
I doctored that. Laura Owens literally said, I doctored that.
And there were copycat cases. That's the other thing. When we look at by the way, props for the Mike Mancini interview. I was glad to see him be able to get out there and actually get his opinions, get his thoughts on things to the world.
Yeah, that Mike Mancini interview, you guys can see it on my channel. It's under videos. It's like 2.5 hours. I sat down with Mike and we talked about his story. And it's funny, we talked for 2.5 hours, and afterwards, he texted me. He was like, I can't believe how much I didn't say and how much more there was and that I meant to say. And it was funny because I didn't. I didn't
Do a
get that
follow-up,
feeling.
Mike.
No, I told him that. I said, "Well, absolutely do whatever you want to say. Come back and do it again. We'll do it again." But it's just interesting how poor Mike. I mean, he's just been. This stuff is coming back to him, like in pieces. So the more he focuses on it, because he's tried to let it. He's tried to
Yeah.
not
Try
think
to move
about
on.
it.
Try to move on. You can't move
And now
on.
it's like coming back, and it's just sad. It's just sad. He went through it for so long.
People don't. The word survivor with a man doesn't come up very often. It's not something that gets added there. It's not something that you see the media add on or people like identify, but that's very much what he is. And when you look at the way he's tried to go through this, he's never been given a chance to move on because he's got a court order against him. It's always there. Laura Owens is the perfect abuser in that, right? Because no one ever got away. They don't get to move on. She is the epitome of what abuse looks like. And I feel bad for these guys because, normally at least a lot of people they try to put their lives back together. That baggage holds up. You can't let it go. It becomes part of you. But with time, maybe some of that heals. Maybe you can move on and put your life. And he has put his life together. He's had, relationships and stuff. But still, she is still there. And I feel bad for these guys, man.
Yeah, I do too, especially because hearing Mike say, when I asked him the question that really stuck out to me was when I said, "Are you still feeling that fear that you described that you had?" And I was expecting him to say it's lessened a little bit, at least, but he didn't. He said yes, every day. That was tough to hear. And I really think these guys deserve. Yeah, these guys stalked him. He thinks that she stalked him on what was it, Snapchat? That's how she knew where he was and kept showing up being at the restaurants where he was.
See, that's wild and crazy. It bothers me. Again, if Mike hears this, we got it. For myself, I didn't have to hear anything he said on it because I took her words. Her words. She told me that she went out. She made contact. He called the police after he was being stalked, and the police turned on him by her own admissions. And that's a travesty. If there is any way to undo this, I hope that he's talked to a lawyer. I hope that. Oh, I know that. I know there's been lawyers that have given opinions on, might be able to do something with this and so on. I've heard a few of them talk about that. And
well, we're ready to help him. I will do another fundraiser. I know Dave will help. I know Tug will help. We will, if he needs a lawyer, if she goes after him again, or if he wants to try and get that order set aside, we will help. We will fundraise because these guys they've been without real representation, Greg and Mike, for a long time. Now, Greg had Greg Woodnick, but I think at the time of Greg Gillespie's case, I'm not sure Greg Woodnick knew what he was up against. You know what I mean?
Right.
The monster hadn't quite revealed herself.
No.
And so he was treating it the way he would treat anybody else in that situation. You know what I mean? His strategy was probably different than it was with Clayton because he'd never seen anything like that before. Can you imagine finding out you're all the way down this case, you've already been doing this for however long, and then this woman sends an ex parte letter to the judge accusing you, the attorney, of colluding with your client to kidnap and ARP her.
Yeah, I've seen some mental cases, do a few things like that. But man, I've never seen that, and then a judge still take this person seriously enough to do anything whatsoever. Usually that's the kind of stuff that you might be found unable to continue in a trial, not because it causes a mistrial, but because you have mental issues. They might refer you to something when you start making just out of nowhere claims. But instead, the only reason I think Clayton Echard really had a chance here, I mean, there was, money, he had exposure, a willingness to fight, but also she had fallen into a pattern of behavior. And by then, it had happened so often, there was not only a trail of it, but she got lazy with it a little bit. I mean, she relied on the same dirty tactics that she had gotten away with so many times. And finally somebody could do something about it. But those first guys, they didn't stand a chance.
I'm disappointed in the chat, by the way. I'm watching my trending list, and I'm not on it. I'm very disappointed. And there are like hundreds of you here. The top article right now has 118 eyes on it. That's it. All you have to do is beat 118 clicks. Seriously?
Yeah, there's the link for the...
Clickety-click, chat. We'll give you a moment here. Well, hold, please.
That's weird for me.
Click on the link. Click the link, please. We won't
Not the
say
girl
anything.
Now you got the girl from Ipanema in my brain. Even though that's not the girl from Ipanema.
We're giving you time to go and click on that. Now, come on. Go and click. I don't believe you've done it. You're like my children who tell me that you did things and you didn't do it. Nope, you still haven't done it. Nope, we're still holding. You still haven't done it. We're still not trending. We still don't have 100 people. We need 100 people.
Yeah, mods actually, if you would put that link in there too. And I'm gonna pin it. Just give me a minute.
I'm losing faith in chat. I'm very disappointed in you.
No,
I'm
they're the
gonna have to
greatest
talk to your
chat.
father when he comes home. I'm gonna have to talk
No.
to your dad. I'm gonna have to. He may get the wooden spoon out. I don't know. I'm very disappointed. I can't believe it. It's not working.
It'll work. It'll work. It may take it a minute to catch up.
Very
I
sad.
bet you money.
I'm very
I have
sad,
much
very
faith
disappointed, chat.
Much faith in the chat. Let me see. I've got
So this article, let me tell you something about this article, by the way. Flux goes, shit, why is mom disappointed? Because you haven't sufficiently clicked on my article to get it trending. We have to make me look good to my boss. Why are you not doing this? Don't you love me? Haven't I done enough for
Don't
you?
you love? Oh my god. Maybe if you call them from 13 different numbers.
I
hear that makes
if you
people
don't
love
click
you.
on my article right now.
Yeah, if you send them 513 messages from 13 different phone numbers, I hear that does make people love you.
Oh, there it is. We're at number 2 now. Refresh
See?
your screen.
I told you. I
Yay,
told you.
chat. Yay, chat. Good job. Good job. Oh, yours didn't update. That's
No,
weird.
not yet. That's what I'm saying.
Mine
it's like
did.
it's probably cookie driven,
There's 107 of you on there now.
See, it still
Good
hasn't updated
for
yet.
you. All right. You're not grounded. You can go back to your video games now. You have sufficiently made me happy.
Nope.
All right. So you did good, Flux. You did good. So what I'm happy about, what this article, the reason I had to write it was because those articles on People and Us Weekly, and it just pissed me off. They're not detailed enough. They're like trying to keep it to 500 words because that's everybody's attention span. And
they're
they can't.
wrong.
Yeah,
Many of
they're
them are
always wrong. People was like, oh, it got tossed. No, it was a total victory.
Yeah.
Look at my headline, by the way. This is the most important part of the
Yep,
order.
right there. Bam.
Now, I would have preferred her name in the headline, but that's always an editing decision, and they always put Bachelor Clayton Echard because he's the recognizable name, unfortunately.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It kind of works against him, and it works against the Google algorithm that I want, her name to come up in these searches, but I don't get to make that decision. But anyway, yeah. Bachelor Clayton Echard's false accuser referred for criminal prosecution. That's the big thing. Look at this thing.
Owens
God,
said Laura Owens super chat said, thanks for the 2. She was like, listen, JFC crew, I even clicked on it. Get to it.
Get to it. Even Laura did it. My mom shaming usually works.
That's hilarious. Like
The
she's
chat
like,
says, can we have our
"Click
pudding
on
now?
it."
Yes, you may have your dessert now. Thank you
She's
very much.
staring at you, Jet.
I only ask you to do some chores, and I expect them to be done. Now, your fingers are not broken, and you can click things.
I was curious. So when you said that Clayton when he was asked, if she looked unhealthy like she does now, did she back then? So I look back at available pictures of her. No, I mean, it's bad. Like when you compare that to, interviews and other things that she's done, I mean, she looks very unhealthy now.
Yeah, she was not that skinny when he met her. She was a normal weight. He said she was probably about 125 pounds.
Check it out. It knows about our breadstick money. It's like, keep a bread clip in your wallet. It's like, why do you want to?
Keep a bread clip in your wallet. That's for the breadstick money. That's the bread clip.
I love it. That's the perfect advertisement. They knew that. It's like, here's for your foot pain. And by the way, keep your breadstick money around.
Oh my God. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's actually, what I like about this is,
go ahead.
It's got a lot of detail. That's the one thing. Ooh, put toilet paper under my seat. Look at that. How would you use that? What is going on with that?
When you're alone at night, why?
It's like a booster seat. I'm going to fall in between it.
Is someone going to come use my toilet in the middle of the night and I need to know, so I have to booby trap it? I don't understand.
It looks like a pressure mine or something. They're going to sit down and be like, I got you, son.
Oh,
I love it. But no, I like the fact that the article's got
there's all kinds of clips
detail
in it. There's videos for everything. Mm-hmm. I go over the order in detail. I explain it to you. I also explain why Gingras is totally wrong. Go to the part right here.
Right here?
Up a little more.
In his blog? Oh.
No, up a little more. Let's read just from PJ Media reached out to Greg Woodnick. Well, let's read from there to the end because this is new information. I don't believe Greg gave this statement to anybody else because I asked him specific questions that the other media won't ask. The only thing they asked him was like, do you have any comments on the outcome? And his comment was so generic. It was like, we're very pleased. I asked him detailed questions and I got more out of him than anybody else did, as far as I can tell. So PJ Media reached out to Greg Woodnick, attorney for Echard, for comment on the outcome of the trial. Ms. Owens may be dealing with criminal ramifications per the court's referral to the Maricopa County attorney, he said. There were multiple victims harmed by mistruths and fabricated evidence. Those men were courageous to step forward, and all are relieved that the truth has been shared. When questioned about Gingras's wild behavior and current allegations against Judge Mata for judicial misconduct, Woodnick said, "We are aware of the blogs, Twitter posts, and relentless allegations. My law firm will not engage." He continued, "To the extent there have been boundaries crossed with witnesses, lawyers, and the court." Wow. There are procedures and forums outside of my wheelhouse that I trust will appropriately address the same. Wow. Let's break that down for a minute, Tug.
Yeah, that's big time right there. And I you and I as lay people, we're not lawyers, I'm going to say. We've looked at plenty of cases and whatnot, but still, we're not lawyers. Lawyers are even like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's crossed so many boundaries you don't go into. Witness intimidation, trying to get people arrested. Going after the judge statements are stupid. A lot of people, I see this in many other things. I see people say, well, you have the right to. Yes, you can say any stupid thing that you want. That is very true. Judges, however, are human beings. And while they may not write down something, they very well may be motivated to make sure that that order that they give, that they're talking about referring to, they may be motivated to follow that through. You never know. I mean, I know if I were a judge, I would be very motivated when somebody goes after my father. I would be really pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, that whole thing is just terrible. Locals, by the way, my locals chat, meganfox.locals.com, they're back to their hilarious memeing. I have a meme to share, and it is hysterical. I don't really know much about Greg Woodnick's sense of humor, but I hope he would enjoy this because I do. You want to put that up on the screen real quick?
Yep. Oh no. Oh no. That's new
really
headgear. Man. I don't know. You imagine that with his short shorts? Oh, he's good at that.
Yeah, I don't know if Woodnick wears short shorts he is in the very hot desert. He might. He might.
Oh, headgear. Well, thanks, Megan, for that demonetized stream, by the way.
Come on, it's dogs. They wouldn't demonetize
I
you for
love
that, would
puppies.
they?
They demonetized the stream we were talking about, girdles or whatever. They demonetized for
kidding?
that. Yeah, they hit that part for sure.
Waist
Because I was like,
trainers?
yeah, the waist trainers, because of the, when you look at
Why?
because they demonetize streams for women in bathing suits or anything else. So they're like, women,
There weren't even any women in that. They were
not
just
just
waist
that. I
trainers
mean, they
by
have naked
themselves.
yoga, naked freaking yoga on this site.
naked yoga on you. But we can't show a waist trainer with nobody in it. That's crazy.
Hell, I can't use people's full names sometimes in cases, but there are channels out there, and again, some of them I listen to. No shot at them by any means, but there are ex-mobsters that talk about the dozens of people they murdered, and they went to jail for. They're okay. They're monetized, and I don't want them not to be. I actually like their channels.
Right,
by the
everybody
way.
should be monetized. There shouldn't be
Yeah.
any of that. This whole thing is just annoying that we don't even know what's going to monetize or demonetize us. So get your bread clips ready and get the breadstick money out and send in that super chat cheddar so that we don't have to be worried about it.
It takes away this conversation we have about false accusers because a lot of people won't touch it, and that is actually a sad reality there.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about that thing that they're doing in hospitals to minors anymore. And
I told you, so I have a link to Rumble, so I got an email today, and it was talking about links, and it pointed out issues with links, not issues like they don't work, but like, hey, there's some issues here, maybe you should review them, and it gave an attachment, and it was definitely, I'm always leery about anything that, I'm always looking for scams, but it was definitely YouTube. So I looked at the link that they had a problem with, and it's the Rumble links. They don't want you putting that anymore. So anything that links outside, I mean, that's a problem too. That's kind of just wild.
yeah, I don't really understand the censorship, and I hope one day it ends soon. I really do. Oh, wait, go back to my article real quick, though, because there was one paragraph underneath where we were at afterwards.
All right, give me 1 minute. There we
It
go.
was towards the end. Oh, yeah.
Down
So,
here.
okay, wait, up one more.
Right here.
So PJ Media reached out to Gingras for an explanation of what specific judicial misconduct he is alleging, but received no reply. His blog repeated on-the-ground speculation that Judge Mata's father was in the public audience that day and may have spoken to Echard's supporters. PJ Media could not confirm if the speculation was accurate, but it is not judicial misconduct for the parent of a judge to attend his daughter's open courtroom or have opinions about a public trial that is widely reported, if that even occurred, because we don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know how desperate that is when you're like, this is how we're going to try to go for a win for Laura Owens is getting this trial kicked out. That's what they want. They want the decision vacated.
Yeah,
because
but
it
then
is so
they
bad
still
for her.
have to stand trial.
Yep.
There's no, it's not like if it gets vacated that there's no, that's it, she goes home. No, she has to go with her same pile of steaming cow excrement facts to another judge in the same courthouse. Do you really think there's going to be a different decision? In fact, it will just give Greg Woodnick more time to put on an even better trial.
Yeah, because they
Although
get to
that's
see
hard
what.
to believe because it was really good.
Well, yeah, and they can refer back to certain things that were said. So these statements by experts and everything else are locked in. Unfortunately for them, their only go-to weapon was not an OGBYN that she met with, but one that they paid to play. And that guy even admitted that there could be wrongdoing, and that he didn't go in and he didn't look at so many other things. He just went in stuff that he thought would be useful so he could have this specific quote unquote scientific outcome. And that was bad. I mean, that case they put on, and I like to make fun of David for all kinds of things, but I mean, really, they didn't have a lot to play with, because Laura, I mean, she's an absolute trash fire. I mean, holy crap.
Yep. Yep. And there's nothing he can do. Just getting more time to have another trial will end in exactly the same way. And in fact, by the time another trial comes around, we may have found evidence of actual extortion or other crimes that the new judge can add to the referral to the prosecutor.
I like that even the judge put in the $1.4 million. The way she pointed it out, because Gingrich was like, that's no big deal.
It was a settlement offer.
Yeah, and the judge was like, no, not so much.
She called it a threatening letter. Mm-hmm. A threatening letter. And listen, here's the next thing that I think Gingrich is going to do. I think he's going to accuse us, because Dave and I started a letter writing campaign today to the county attorney of Maricopa, Rachel Mitchell. We asked our audiences to write letters, snail mail, so that she gets piles and piles and piles of letters. And people started doing it. So the next thing he's going to do is try to accuse us of some kind of harassment of Laura Owens to have her criminally prosecuted. But that's going to fail too, because guess what, Mr. Free Speech Lawyer? Guess what, Mr. I defend your right to say whatever you want, even if you're wrong, free speech, I defend everyone's First Amendment lawyer guy?
Except Dave Neal.
Except Dave Neal.
Except Dave Neal, right.
Guess what? The county prosecutor is an elected official. It is my right and your right and everybody's right to contact elected officials, to ask them to do their job, and to say this matter concerns the public greatly, and we want to see justice done, because we have witnessed for months, almost a year, we have witnessed injustice, and we want justice from our prosecutor's office. And yes, a prosecutor in Arizona affects me here in New York. You know why? Because her decisions will set a precedent that other prosecutors can look to. Prosecutors across this entire nation will look to her decision and say, you know what? We need to start cracking down on perjury too, because guess what? I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, means nothing in our courts anymore. People lie every day and they get away with it. And at some point, somebody's got to say, enough. And reverse that roll, that slide down that slippery slope. Roll it back.
It's the only way to dissuade this kind of stuff, because ultimately, if you let somebody go in, you slap someone on the hand, you've already said that precedent already exists. It does. And it happens over and over again. And, people go out all the time arguing on behalf of false accusers with the what if. What if an innocent person? Okay, well, when you look at this case, people like that, they use stuff like this, knowing worst case scenario, they'll get a slap on the wrist. They don't need a slap on the wrist. They need to be made an example out of.
It needs to hurt. This is the broken windows theory. The broken windows theory is when you have a downtown area and you've got, vandals and they're breaking windows and they're, doing this petty stuff, petty crime. If you ignore the petty crime, you get bigger and bigger crime. And when you start cracking down on the petty crime, suddenly you get more compliant citizenry who stops doing the petty crime, right? And you don't have to do it all the time. You just have to do a few, right? You've got to do a few. And you've got every year. I think we need to have like a new law everywhere that says you must prosecute at least 2 perjury cases a year. Now, if you don't have any, that's got to be the exception. But at least 2 where there is an actual repercussion for getting caught lying on the stand. Maybe you don't take every case, but you take a couple. And you go, you know what? We're going to give I've got a special office in the prosecutor's office. I'm going to hire a couple interns from law school who are going to make it their job to go through the perjury cases and find some good ones and, damn it, prosecute them. And we'll let the students do it. You know what? Because the big time prosecutors don't have time because we're working on murders. But I'm going to let my first year, my kids out of law school, first year students, I'm going to let them do it. That's what I would do. Because it's not unimportant. It's absolutely important. Actually, Elfie, I never did watch Blue Bloods. Do they agree with me? I was raised in a household of Republicans. That's all. The broken windows theory is very popular with Republicans, but some of our ideas are good, and the broken windows theory is a good one. It is. It does cut down on crime, especially petty crime. When you are allowing people to get away with petty crime, you are sending a signal to bigger criminals that they can get away with murder.
She's a tonsil terrorist. Come on, you got to shut up. You do. No paternity, no perjury.
All right. So, do you want to hear my press inquiry to him?
Yeah.
Or should we read his trial update first?
Let's hear yours, and then we'll look at the trial. Let's see. Let's see if he'll actually. I don't.
All right.
Do you think he'll respond? Maybe he might. He's he can't help himself sometimes.
I don't respond.
I don't know. Sometimes.
Normally I think that he was very embarrassed the last time he did respond, and I think that has. Again, that has deterred him, much like the broken windows theory. I prosecuted him the first time, and he doesn't want to go through it again.
Well, he likes talking about Johnny Depp, so much. During that, we coined something that is beyond embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And I thought his response were embarrassing. Yeah. I do. I thought he got into that herd level of embarrassment.
Funny. All right. I'm not going to pull it up. I'm just going to read it because I didn't get it out of my email, and I don't want to dox anybody. But I'll just read it. It's not that long. Okay, let's see. And my press inquiries they're epic. All right, where's my
That last one was pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun reading that.
I like this one. This one is fun. I'm thinking about making it into a song. Where is my here it is. Okay. Dear Mr. Gingras Esquire, you made a statement in People magazine today that said, "We are also shocked the ruling came just hours after notifying Judge Mata of our intention to file a notice for change of judge for cause, citing suspected judicial misconduct." What is the suspected judicial misconduct? And can you send me the notice for change of judge for cause you say you filed, because strangely, it's not on the docket. You then went on to state that the basis for your complaint was that Judge Mata's father attended the public trial as a member of the public. David, honestly, what does that have to do with judicial misconduct? Also, you might want to be aware that the quote you used that you claimed was from the judge's father about the shit show was my paraphrase. You lifted that from my live stream where I reported I heard from a third party that the judge's father was in the overflow room and that he said something like he was there for the shit show. That was my interpretation and not a direct quote. Nor is it verifiable in any way. I didn't meet her father. I have no idea if he said anything like that. And if it was secondhand hearsay, which, as you know, isn't evidence of anything. But even if he did say something like that, How would it relate to Judge Mata's conduct? When you allege judicial misconduct, doesn't the judge have to engage in some poor behavior, like the kind you engaged in, with witness intimidation and wasting police resources by calling 911 needlessly? What did Judge Mata do, David? Please explain it to me like I'm a legal novice and not a court reporter who has been covering the law for a decade. I've never heard this kind of argument before, so use small words. I'm only medium smart. Also, what are your plans to sue the media now for defamation, now that the court has confirmed that your client is a liar? Are you still confident you're going to get the, and I quote, biggest judgment in Arizona history? Are Laura's horses looking forward to grazing in Dave Neal's backyard? Or have you given that up yet? All the best. P.S. P.S. You publicly stated that the prosecutor of Maricopa County isn't going to prosecute Laura Owens for anything, even though the judge asked for an investigation into her criminality. Why are you so sure that the county attorney will ignore the judge? How common is it for a judge to refer a litigant for a felony, perjury, and evidence tampering? How is Europe? Are you well
I lost
rested?
you for a minute. I lost
Oh,
you for a
no.
minute, Megan.
Am I
Yeah,
bad?
I lost you. I lost you 2 sentences ago.
Okay, at my PS?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if like the the chat lost you or if I lost you.
Was
Yeah,
it-
there's something wrong either on YouTube side or StreamYard side because both of us have had problems like this. It's really weird, you know.
Yeah, I'm not getting like a low.
Okay, so the chat
signal.
the chat heard you. Okay, they can
Okay.
hear you. Okay, you're good. You're good.
All right. How
sorry about that.
common is it for a judge to refer a litigant for felony, perjury, and evidence tampering? How is Europe? Are you well rested? How big of a retainer does Laura need to pay you for the appeals process? I hope it's enough for an African safari next time. Love the photos. Megan
African
Fox.
Safari. Yeah, I actually found some of his photos to be really relevant. You know, like the people that okay, here, let me show you a couple, for example.
Well, I
thought they
did
were
enjoy
really
the photos, and I'm looking forward to his African safari that Laura Owens is going to pay for. I don't think he's going to respond.
See, along with the short off, we actually got like I thought these were relevant because he's looking at Pompeii, you know, where people are buried alive. I was like, well, that does, you know, there's David taking a nap after the long decision. You know? And look, his shorts are so short that I can even see a little bulge.
Oh my God! Look, he is wearing short shorts.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh man, and flip flops. Well, at least he was comfortable. He's like, oh, I'm tired, very tired, Laura, very tired.
This is what David Fingers looks like after the burning dumpster fire that is his case.
Yeah. Hey, look, actually, he showed a live picture of his blog too. Would you like to see this? This is the physical representation of his blog. Look, Ghost Town, ruins,
all three of his
all the
readers.
best.
All the best, David. All the best. Where's my button?
All the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best.
When I looked at that, I was like, wait a minute, this really does. It looks like he's sending me signals here.
Oh man.
Oh my God. The information is super highway.
I actually
baby.
really want to know the answers to these questions about his Europe trip and how big of a retainer Laura's going to pay him for the appeals process. And I do want to know if he's going to go on African safari because I will be there for those photos. I've been enjoying the walks through Paris and whatever the hell else he's doing.
Oh, you know
Or
he is.
Florence.
You know he is raking bank out of this.
Yeah,
You know,
and he's rubbing it in her face.
Yep.
He's taking trips to Europe on her dime while she's back here in the casita, keyboard on fire,
Yeah,
selling
she's
riding boots.
She's like, oh my God, David. And he's like, don't worry, we'll get him. Just, you know, send me another 10 G's, baby.
When I get back from my European vacation on you, we'll make sure we take care of it. Don't worry. I only need 50 grand more. Don't make me feel sorry for Laura Owens, David Gingras, but you kind of do. Like, his behavior kind of makes me feel sorry for her because he's
Not
taking
really.
advantage of her.
Not really. I'm like, after you get a baker's dozen lawyers, you're going to get down to the ambulance chasing mofos down in the bottom rail.
Yeah, because every lawyer she had told her she needed to settle and she needed to admit some things, take the L, and move on with her life, and she wouldn't do it.
That's what we've seen again. Like Amber Heard, she would fire the lawyers that gave her good advice. They were like, "Hey, this could be bad." We had we had certain deposition leaked where one lawyer, all the way up into the ACLU stuff, was like, "Hey, you don't want to say this. Yeah, the name's not there. We'll remove that. But maybe we don't want to go forward with all of this. What happened to that person that got canned?" And I mean, again, the similarities are really striking when you look at one to the other. You look at that behavior, because you'll find a good lawyer will do what you want because you're paying them, but they will tell you don't want to do this. And people, and you can argue with them and everything else, but they'll also tell you to keep your mouth shut. You don't want to bring this stuff forward. You don't want to make all these statements, lock yourself into narratives. And I've never seen a lawyer act like Gingras has. It's just
I've never seen it either, ever in my whole life. Never.
Just say it. Hey, hold it for a second. I'm gonna see what my kiddo wants here.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. I'm going to read the chat for a little bit. Kathy Williams says Laura will insist on going on safari with him. Yeah, I doubt it. He just leaves her behind.
I'm back already. You don't have to read
the
chat.
He leaves her behind. He's going to go to Africa without her. He's just going to leave her back in the casita, typing furiously and editing and re-editing. And I mean, Tug, she must have spent so much time writing that thing for Medium, if she even wrote it. And then she's going back and editing it. And we have all the edits. Like, when is she going to learn? You can't post anything that Reddit isn't going to screen grab, archive, and then study. Stop. And this thing that she posted on Facebook today was only up for 30 minutes before she took it down.
Oh, did she pull it down?
Yeah.
I
have a tweet with the screenshots of it. I can send to you. I'll send it to you in the private chat. I think I sent it to you, but I'll send it again.
I've been archiving her stuff. I hope everybody archives everything that she posts.
She pulled it down as soon as people started commenting on it, and the comments were not favorable to her. And she did not like that, and then it came down. And this is the same thing that she did with that crying video that she posted on Facebook, and then she took it down, and she claimed that that it was private. But it wasn't private. It was open to the public on her Facebook page. And the fact that it was only up for 30 seconds or a minute or two, anytime you put anything out there, Laura, the internet is forever. And right now you have Reddit researchers who are dedicated to making sure you never do this to anybody ever again. So let me just tell you, you can't do this anymore. You're done. Just be done. Move on.
I don't think she'll learn from this. I don't even think if there's a real penalty, I still don't think she'll learn from it. I just don't. I think mentally, again, this doesn't go into what I think about punishment, but I do think that there is something wrong there. When you engage in this type of behavior because you're trying to lock people into dating contract, I mean, that is fucking bizarre. Like that is I mean, surely everybody knows, like, when they look at this, they think that's unwell, and again, she does know right from wrong, though. So she can definitely, she definitely needs some kind of punishment. But afterwards, after some jail time, that's what she needs. Then she also needs to go get some mental health treatment.
Yeah. It's bad. I do think that she's going to, I don't know if she'll ever get jail. I mean, I think that the way that she keeps on speaking out of turn and making conflicting statements, she very well may end up there. It is not out of the realm of possibility that she'll end up in jail, and she may even need it for her to make a real change. It's very sad. I mean, she's had so many opportunities to get out of this without this dire thing. And it's just sad. It's sad.
TEDx needs to pull that shit down too. I think people should write them and be like, well, what the hell? You realize that this person that you've been promoting, you've seen the judgment against them. You've seen that the people that she's talking about are referenced here because the judge is saying that she is a serial offender. I think that should be brought up, and I think all those podcasts, and YouTube channels that she's been on. And again, I don't, I think it shows even in that she had judicial decisions, she actually had the weight of the law behind her. So people that were interviewing her, they really weren't doing anything wrong there. They weren't speculating. There were judicial decisions. It took a while for people to catch up with what she was doing. But in the aftermath, maybe they should look at what they did and best case scenario, pull those. But also, I think maybe they should follow up. Maybe they should add something to that as well.
I hope that this is a turning point. I really do. And it kind of feels that way. It feels like we're getting more serious with the Trevor Bauer. It's getting very serious. The Trevor Bauer false accusers prosecution. That's a big deal.
Until we have a change in not just, I think we need to have a change in laws that recognize, when you refer to specific laws, like where violence against, again, we need to get Violence Against People's Act, so we recognize, first of all, that terrible things can happen to anyone, any individual out there. And we also need to enforce the laws that are already on the books.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of them. Like I'm not usually in favor of more laws. I'm usually in favor of just enforcing the ones we have. I bet you we have laws that apply to all of this crap that she did. We just have to have a invested prosecutor who's willing to put her nose in the book and find something. Find it.
We talk about
That's my favorite. It's my favorite quote from that movie Overboard with Goldie Hawn, where at the end, the Coast Guard is like, we need an excuse to help someone rescue the love of their life or whatever. And the kid's like, there's nothing in the manual, sir. And he turns around and he goes, well, put your nose in the book and find something, Lucas. That's how I feel about this. It's like, here's what we need. We have so many laws on the books. Find something, be creative, and go do it.
Well, they need to clarify some too. It's kind of like we talk about how outdated laws were when they referred to protections for women, and they were. We went in, but most people don't realize things like until 2012, the FBI did not recognize that a man could be ARPed. They did not recognize that. It wasn't in there.
Until
in 2012, they made change. 2012, they made changes there. Yeah. So we're talking about something that is just barely over a decade old. So, laws have not caught up with the fact that bad things can happen to anyone. And I think we see case after case. If they don't want to see this and they want to look at offenders, again, like female offenders, look at school teachers right now. How many have to do these terrible things before they make examples out of these folks and treat them like they would if it were a male offender? Some of these male offenders be buried under the jail. But, with female offenders...
A man sending... And I believe that sending that email to Clayton about how tight she was, about, begging him to have sex and, sex with me is so great because I'm so tight. That is the male equivalent of unsolicited dick pics.
Yeah.
If a man had been sending those salacious messages to a female, unwanted, that she had said, please stop, don't send me anything else, I don't want to talk to you, and she went to a police officer and said, he has created 13 different phone numbers to contact me, and he's sending me unsolicited dick pics and talking about how big his dick is, that guy would go to jail.
What kind of bragging point is that anyway? That would be like a man sending those pics and being like, hey, but don't worry about it. I've had a vasectomy. And I'd be like, ugh,
Uh,
gross. No, I don't want to hear about that. Yuck.
uh.
Hashtag yuck,
Or like, I haven't slept with anybody in a year. I'm so hard. I'll go all night or whatever. Like, ew,
Yeah, any
gross.
of that stuff,
Gross. And like, you can't say that to someone who says they don't want to hear from you. And she was doing it to Clayton and nobody cared. No one cared. No one in the police department cared. They just look at him and go, so what? You've got girls chasing you? Big deal.
They don't. I read a case where a woman had a protective order against her. And during the protective order, she sent a combined letters, messages. So she sent 16,000. That is fucking crazy. Sent police to the guy's house saying that he was going to harm people. Luckily, he wasn't there because she swatted him. Did all this stuff. What did they do? They called her in. They said, well, she needs a mental health evaluation. And if you do it again, that was the total. That was the totality of doing
That's
that.
awful. By the
Yeah,
way, the
and
chat is like, okay, this stream just got demonetized. I'm so sorry, Tug. You should never invite me here because it's always me that gets you demonetized. I'm so sorry. Chat, send breadstick money for my stupidity. I'm only medium smart. I say things that are going to get him demonetized, and then he can't make money on the stream. I'm such a jerk. I said a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have said.
what a monster.
Damn. It was funny, though. Was it worth
No,
the
it's
laugh?
true though. Actually, it's very true. Like, just to be
I know.
honest, all of it is very true because with the comparisons, socially we have these ideas too. You were talking about how the cops look at it and they're like, that ain't no big deal. You look at people's comments about this stuff and they're like, yeah, if I had that stuff going on, I'd be happy. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like female predators on young boys, children, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. And the media and everybody else is like, oh, I wish I had a teacher like that. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you clearly that is spoken by someone who's never been essayed by an adult, never been preyed on by a PDF file. You don't know. If you had been, you would never say something like that. And it really harms victims to say something like that, to diminish their experience, their trauma. I hate that. We should not do it. There's a double standard when it comes to men being victims, even little boys. This society can't even allow little boys to be victims. But because females are preying on them, what kind of hellscape am I living in that little boys my son's age don't even get sympathy because when female victims are preying on them and plying them with alcohol and God, this is sick. It's a sick society we're living in that this is happening, that you don't see or people don't see, media doesn't see how wrong it is to put cougar in the headline of a female predator who's preying on little boys. Shame
that
on
killed
the
me when they
media.
did that.
Shame on them.
Female cougars in the classroom. And you're like,
that's not a cougar. That's a PDF file. And that's what you should call her. And I'm sick and tired of this. Oh, well, she's hot. I wish she was my 5th grade teacher. What the heck?
Yeah. I mean, it's so bizarre.
It
I keep pointing that out to people
shames
too.
little boys, by the way. It shames them into not saying that they were traumatized.
I hit up the media person that wrote that. I actually hit them
Did
up.
they respond?
No, they blocked me. But I hit them up and I was like,
they
you realize?
blocked you?
Yeah. So I was like, cougar
Son of a
is a
gun.
reference to an older female that dates. Here's the key to it: younger men.
Like a 40-year-old woman who dates 20-year-old men. That's still legal. That's a cougar. Not a 25-year-old woman who is preying on her 11-year-old students. For God's sake.
Crazy.
The media is out of their minds, and it shames our little boys into silence so that if they hear this stuff on the media, they think it's no big deal. It's not. I guess it's not a big deal. I guess I wasn't hurt. I guess I wasn't harmed because the media and all the commenters, they think I should be happy that this happened to me. How sick is this? How sick is this society? And this is all very anti-male.
Not only that, when you pointed out, they turned they label people MRAs, which that by itself should not be men's rights should not be an insult. But
right.
yeah, and I mean that's like if you read articles about that, it's so nasty what they have to say. It's become just another word like incel or anything else. They've taken any
Well,
meaning.
it's kind of like saying
away.
Yahtzee at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like it's a pejorative.
I'm gonna read this.
Sorry.
When I looked at
what are
this,
we
actually, it's funny the way he writes this. Almost when I read it the first time, I thought it said love.
Love.
Yeah, because it looks like love. But the Laura Owens, Clayton Evans post trial. I said Evans. Echard. I don't know why I said Evans. Post trial update. Like 60 comments. Also he writes all these blogs because he's never had so much traffic in his life. I mean, it is.
Yeah, he's addicted to the engagement. A bunch of people are calling him an engagement hoe on Twitter, and so they're blocking him because they don't want to give him the engagement. By the way, it's something really funny, and I swear I'll shut up and you can read. My daughter, my 18-year-old, she comes into my room today when I was just finishing up streaming with Dave, and she waltzes in. I just killed the stream, and she goes, "So, hey, Mom, what's on the horror report today?"
Oh no!
I about died. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to have like a horror report Wednesday or something where we put in a today on the horror report.
It's no time like ho time.
It's such a weird thing to have me as a mom and have that actually be a thing where my kids are like, "Hey, Mom, what's on the horror report?" It's funny.
I try to tell my kid, I'm like, Dad, they can't hear anything that we're saying, and they don't see what's up here on the screen unless they walk around. I turn it off, and I turn the monitor part off when they walk up, and I'm like, you can't know about this, because they're little. Yours aren't little bitty.
No, I have an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
She's got worse jokes than I can come up with. Believe me.
Well, my 4-year-old can't read anything, and if I show her the chat, she's like, oh, she'll see emojis, but she can't read the rest of it. So it's like, all right, that's good. And the other one, I'm like, you can't. When she walked in, that's why she was like, I want to say something. I was like, not in this, not in this one. No. And she's like, it's always not in this one these days. I was like, we'll have one, so then you can say something about it.
There's some crazy crap going on right now.
All right, reading it. Here we go. As far as I can tell, 3 types of people are reading this post. Number 1, members of the Clayton Echard personality cult. Personality cultists, huh? Number 2, normal folks who are interested in law/lawsuits/ legal procedure and maybe reality TV. What? How does this, one thing is not like the other,
Well, I guess because he's saying Bachelor fans, I guess.
Well, that should be like a number 3, though, because if you're like normal folks interested in these. Then,
and maybe real. Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't really go.
And then Judge Matta and her dad, allegedly, but hopefully not. That right there. This, like I said, the title of this is trying to talk yourself into jail. I mean, for real. You start taking shots at the judge. That's one thing. But taking shots at her family? Holy crap. He knows better than this.
I read the judicial conduct rules, by the way, in Arizona, and I looked up every instance of family because there's a bunch of family rules. And all the family rules center around not allowing your family to financially profit off of your judicial appointment. And also, if one of your family members runs for office, you cannot campaign for them and you have to stay neutral. There is nothing in there about not allowing your members of your family to come see a public court case that you're presiding over. Nothing.
Well, they do that. I mean, come on. You can be. It's a celebrity trial here, so it's big enough that a lot of people have heard of this anyway. Anybody, I started having people hit me up more and more as this got more and more momentum. People that had no idea about any Bachelor. I don't. I don't know anything about Bachelor lore, any of that stuff. If you do, props to you, by the way. I don't mean anything negative with that. But it was bringing in people that were just interested and all the activity, all the buzz, all the trending. They wanted to know what hashtag tramp stamp lawyer was, for example, you know? Yeah. And I was like, see this guy, you know? And he explained that. I was like, look at him, read what he says, and then I'll explain everything wrong with it. You know? So
Yeah.
I was like, look at this Megan Fox article, you know, you can compare and contrast, like look at that and look at this guy. Remember, he's basically her PR.
Oh
Okay.
God.
So this post is only for category 2. So the normal folks that like the reality TVs. All others can stop reading now. These comments are not for you. Okay.
Well, too bad you posted it publicly, so you don't get to pick
I
who
would
reads
say
it.
I'm part 2, you know. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in another 4. I'm interested in justice. You know,
Uh-huh.
because I'm not just watching this, you know, we're not court TV, you know, or law and crime
Nope.
where they just cover this stuff. We cover things that I
But
wanted
court
to have.
TV is so corporate too, you know, like
Mhm.
they're so corporate, and that's what people are shying away from, and we don't want to be like that
Yeah.
because it's fake. It feels fake. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah, there's no investment. I mean, if I'm covering 60 trials, you know, in a week, I mean, some of these do. They'll pick up every single, like law and crime. Again, no shot at law and crime. I'm just saying they pick up every case, but you don't know anything about them, and people aren't really invested in any of that. They don't understand the stakes. A lot of I feel like they may understand the trial. They've kept up with what's going on. You know, if you like law and crime has actually had some good people that would be invested in following everything that comes up, but there's no investment in outcome. They don't understand the stakes, nor do they care. They just switch off during a trial. You know.
Yeah.
But now let's get into it. About 24 hours ago, the court issued a ruling that was 99% favorable to Clayton. 99%. So they say he lost, by the way. He's trying to say that he didn't vacate the order of protection, so that's the only issue he lost. I would not say it that way. If the court doesn't have the legal authority to do that, they're not saying that it can't be vacated. They're just saying they can't vacate it. Big difference,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, she's saying that the appeals court has to do it. Now, there is an argument to be made that it might not, that she might be wrong, and it might be able to go to appeal now on that one issue and let the appeals court decide whether or not she can set it aside, because it's a new action, and so it might not be considered a lateral action, which I know it's kind of a complicated thing to describe, but I don't know. That's for a conversation for a different day. But
Yeah, that's also a thing to haul a lawyer into to really
Right.
talk about the nuance to it.
right,
But overall, and that one point aside, the post-trial decision gave Clayton pretty much every single thing he wanted, and arguably more. It's strange to see Gangris actually tell us, oh, you know, everything and more. Is this a victory for Clayton? Has justice been served? Will Laura end up in jail? Am I embarrassed? Wouldn't it kick my ass in court?
well, at least he knows. At least he knows. Where's my meme? Where's my meme? No, I won't make you put it up again. But you guys remember the meme. Keep it in your heads.
Yep, we're gonna call that the Widnick top hat. Yep. Fully understanding the answers to those questions begins with a few points. 1 second. This thing tried to. I'm gonna move something here real quick. There we go. Ooh, I can see it better now. First, Clayton has won a battle, but the war is not even close to over. AKA, we plan on going all the way with this action. Give me more money.
Yeah. I need a bigger retainer. I need another trip. It's the African safari fund, baby.
Oh my God. I really would like to know what she's paid him so far. Oh God, I'd really love to know that.
I mean, it's one of two things. It's either a lot of money or not a lot of money. And he did it for the notoriety and the internet fame. because he knew that we would report on his ridiculous antics. And he's playing it up for the camera so that he gets some notoriety, and he may think that he can pull out some minor win that he can spin into a big boon for him professionally. Now, I don't think that's the case. I don't think he'll be able to do that. I don't see a win for him in this one. This is a really bad case. It's a bad case for anybody who takes it.
I would think like she was desperate enough because no one else would take her case that she probably had to pay through the nose for somebody. I mean, just to be honest, it would have been hard to find anybody to take this case. Second, I've been down this road many times in the past, and I can tell you it ain't over until it's over. Small victories, even huge ones, mean nothing if they are wrong and subject to reversal. He loves playing that too. You know, he'd probably come in and be like, no, I wasn't really saying that. I'm not saying this case, just anyone when he loses. Watch it. If you were told you won the lottery and a few months later you were informed the ticket was fake and all the money was taken back, would you still feel like a winner?
This is the thing where he's going to go into like, oh, well, this is how I win. I lose first and then I win later. Like, I'm sorry, appeals are for losers. Like, the fact that you won one appeal this one time because somebody screwed up, like, that is not every case. It's his strategy is to go in and lose big and then win on appeal. What kind of strategy is that?
Actually, who's he trying to convince? Is he trying to convince
himself
us or maybe Laura?
Laura's parents or whoever's footing the bill? How many pairs of riding boots is she going to have to sell to pay him for the appeal? Let's do it. It's like a math problem. If Laura has 5 pairs of high-end riding boots and she sells them all before midnight on Thursday, how much money will David Gingras get in his account by Friday? Sorry.
Yes, and if you carry the lawyer over and you send them to the glue factory instead of horses, because we love horses, then...
and the horse is traveling at 15 miles per hour.
And you're carrying 2 twins in your tonsil sack. Oh my God! I'm gonna start calling it a tonsil sack. That's
tonsil sack.
Yeah. You never knew. No, when I took anatomy, I never learned about the tonsil sack, but now I know. Thank you, David.
How many pregnancy tests can you make positive when the horse pees on the road?
Oh my God, I'm imagining like freaking horses peeing on freaking pregnancy test sticks now. They're like, come on, we need to get one right, horses. You're training them. You train them for like short jumps and to pee on freaking strips. That's amazing.
Oh God, speaking of short jumps, I you don't have to play it, but did you see the video? The new video?
I haven't watched it yet. Is it still up?
Yes.
Oh God.
I'm
hey,
sorry.
Link it
it's
in
funnier
the private
than
chat.
It's funnier than it should be. But there
actually
is
link it in the private chat. I'm gonna.
Okay, there is a video of Laura falling off her horse, and don't worry, she wasn't harmed or anything. I don't think in this particular video. But I mean, it does raise a question: how many head injuries has she had? And I'm not being facetious or trying to make a joke. But how many head injuries has she had? And are the head injuries she says she has and the epilepsy she says she has, which I believe she has, is that how many of them come from falling off her horse all the time? Or does she have brain damage? I have been told, by the way, that this video is the copyright owner gave permission and she can't have it taken down. It's from an event, a riding event. Mm-hmm. And she makes the first jump, but she doesn't make the second one.
Here we go. Let's check this out.
I need announcer voice. Laura Owens is coming up to the jump. She's going to go around the course. She's a svelte 91 pounds and riding well today. It's a brisk wind coming in from the south. And there she goes. She's off on her horse Whisper. And they got try.
Oh, Megan, look at that form right there. It's pretty good.
It looks
considering
pretty
she is
good.
carrying- She's carrying
looking
6
good.
tonsils, twins in her tonsil pouch. So she's running up to it. The horse is cute. Oh, there
And she
goes.
made it
Oh, yeah.
over, and that's
Oh,
it's looking
amazing.
good. Looking good. Looking good. Everything's under control here today, Tug. It looks like we're gonna have a regular day here at the.
I've never seen a
horse
store mannequin
competition.
ride a horse before. That is amazing.
And she's rounding the second course. Here she goes. Here she goes. And
Oh
up.
my God.
Oh,
kiss it.
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it was so bad. Even the person with the camera collapsed.
Oh no.
Let's watch that on.
No, let's watch that on slow-mo. Let's do the
replay.
instant
Wait.
replay. We're not sure.
Let's
We're not sure how
playback
that.
speed. Let's slow it down just a little. Half speed. See.
All right, let's see what
here's our
happened in that.
instant
What
replay.
went wrong? You know, I did hear that backstage she may have offered the horse a dating contract, and it's possible that he was just trying to run away as fast as possible.
She said something about, if you don't sign that, I will send you to the glue factory. And he was like, glue factory for you, B.
And the horse is bucking, and it looks like a tough fall for Laura Owens, and that is unfortunate.
And the horse is free.
Oh boy. So Alex, who is a horse rider, I did show her that today, and I'll tell you what she said, because I don't know anything about horse jumping. I can't tell you what a good seat looks like, what a poor seat looks like. I can't tell you, but she can. And what she said was, a direct quote, "Okay, that would be a reason why you don't buy horses off the chopping block."
No.
And then she said, "I love this journey for her."
It was kind of like watching the case that she was doing. It was like, yeah, you overcame a minor hurdle, and oh wait, it fell right on your face. You know, all right. And then we didn't get to see the horse go back and take her to jail.
I mean, there's so many possibilities for voiceover on that. That would be absolutely hysterical.
You know that guy that does the epic voiceovers, you know, making fun
Yes.
of crimes and stuff? I would love him to do that one. I'd love to tell him, like, what's going on with this and get him to do one.
I would
And it's
love
all
that.
right in the kisser.
Oh, well, I had Grok write a script for one. I should have read it. I should have read some of it, because some of it was really funny. Here, wait, let me pull it up, because this part was really funny. This was the only funny part. As the horse gallops away, Laura can be heard shouting, "I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant." But we all know better. This is just another one of her classic tricks to trick unsuspecting men into relationships.
The horse was like, I too am not the father.
Horse was like ghosting her in the middle of the competition.
She pulls out her phone and starts chasing from like freaking 13 different numbers. And he's like, come back. I'm gonna sue you, protective order. You're like, oh no.
Now, Alex also said her seat was not good. I don't know what that means, though. I don't know what not having a good seat on a horse means. I don't know. I'm not a horse girl. I don't know these things.
All right. So third, at the end of the day, the most important question that matters
That was
beyond
a
all
fun
else.
little side. You know.
I'm like, you know, anybody who watches these should know that it will not stay on topic. It will go everywhere. But we'll eventually get the topic in there. Eventually. Maybe we will.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Sorry.
Third, at the end of the day, the most important question that matters beyond all else is this. Was the judge's decision correct? If the answer is no, Clayton's victory is a hollow and temporary one. And
But that's not going to be the answer.
Exactly. I mean, this was so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like how, you know, when I look
Facts of this case are so bad for her. It's all over with her one quote.
She admitted it all.
I doctored the test. That's it. It's over, Laura.
Well, and her Planned Parenthood stuff. I mean, that, you know, not just the test, but yeah, everything that came with it. And I loved how the changing to give people the idea that she was pregnant, actually doctoring that specific item, that blew up in her face too. So at that point, though, or at this point, the question remains wide open. So how are Laura and I feeling? Oh,
Nobody
his feels.
cares.
But his feels are matter, It's weird to see a lawyer insert themselves into that statement.
I need my button here.
Nobody cares.
There we go. Nobody
Exactly.
cares, Gingras.
Where do we go from here? I'm going to share some thoughts on both the past and the future. But before we get to that, I'm going to remind everyone this is not my first rodeo. That really goes with the horse clip right there, falling off. Foreshadowing, man.
Maybe she should go into rodeo. Maybe she could hang on to a bucking horse. She's had experience. Maybe she would do better at rodeo than
She's like,
this.
oh my God, a bull. I've heard of those. I'm like,
I'll
wrong
ride
sport. Wrong sport, bulls. Wait. 100% of my legal practice is litigation. And I normally deal with cases a lot bigger and more complicated than Laura Owens versus Clayton Echard. That is not bragging or boasting. If you have to say this over and over again, by the way, you're probably bragging or boasting.
He's just full of crap. Does anyone believe this anymore? Like when he's always, I'm the Conor McGregor of litigators. I'm starting to think maybe he's not the Conor McGregor of litigators. I don't know.
As Shakespeare totally said, what's past is prologue. If you want to understand the future, I just need to do it this way. It makes me feel better. You need to totally consider the past and lessons learned from it.
I miss that voice. Bring it.
I've got to have it today. For me, the most...
Gayer. A little gayer.
Okay. For me, the most analogous past experience in my 5-year battle was Sarah Jones versus the Dirty.com. I mentioned this case
Picture yourself
before.
in your wife's shorts.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh,
I'm
I
sorry,
don't
Kat.
know.
I'm interrupting again.
I think to really get my voice like his, I would have to have I'd have to have certain parts of mine to be innies. I don't think I can manage those. I'm sorry. I mentioned this case before. I'm trying there. I was like, man, my voice is too deep for that. But to summarize, this was a defamation case that started in federal court in literally 2009. Just like Laura Owens and Clayton Echard, just like Love Kavav. Love Kavav.
Love kid.
Low Kavav. I don't know.
This is why I love you, because you will derail at the same rate I will.
I always tell people, if you tune into a live stream, they're fun. You catch them live, they're a lot of fun. If you watch them on replay, I don't know. I don't watch them on replay, but I have a lot of fun. And that's what makes live streams fun. Everyone else can have fun. There's topics. If you want a straight read of this, you know where they are. You can look up David Gingras' blog. I mean, hey, welcome to it. It's still there. The trial judge in Jones was exceptionally hostile to me, my client, and legal proceedings. I wonder, a judge not liking you? That's strange. I can't imagine. He totally hated us right from the start. Hashtag.
But he always says this about people. Everyone always hates him. You know what, David? David. If every case you've ever been on, the other people, the opposing parties or the judge or whoever, if they hate you, and it happens in every case you're in, can I just share a little secret with you? It's not them. It's you.
What's bad is his claim to fame. He's like, one time, Colin Farrell wanted to punch me in the dick. It's like, wait, what?
Look at his eyes. He hates me. You can feel the hate coming out of his eyes. Well, maybe you're just like a douchebag that everyone hates. It's good that you're kind of self-aware, David, but get to the real heart of the matter, which is you're a dick. People hate you because you're a dick. You don't have to be like this, but you insult people, you intimidate people, you threaten them, you threatened to like bring bar complaints against all the lawyers that you are up against. New lawyers, old lawyers, doesn't matter. Any lawyers. He's like, I will have your bar license. That doesn't make people like you, David.
He's like Marty Singer, like totally hated me at first, but then he calls me up and he does. He's like
He said that about
now.
everyone.
I mean, it's crazy. He's like, now we get together, and he braids my armpit hair. And you're like, what are you fucking talking about, weirdo?
David, the universe is trying to tell you something.
It's so strange. But the judge insulted me.
Oh no!
Several
Wait, insulted me several? Is he an Irish? He's like a leprechaun.
No,
The judge
totally.
insulted me several pre-trial rulings.
He erased the literally in there. That's what threw it off. He insulted me literally. several
It's because your
pre-trial
rulings are
rulings.
stupid.
It probably. I mean,
Look
what
at
did
this
he do
next
before
part
Donald
of the
Trump?
sentence.
Maybe my legal arguments were completely frivolous.
Like, you mean your motion to compel lunch?
He basically accused me of lying about the law.
Well, you don't know it very well. You're not good at it. It's not your forte, really.
He ruled against me over and over and over again. Sound
used to it.
familiar? If that's your bragging thing, but I'll get him on appeals, baby.
Yeah, he's going to get him on some technicality on appeal. Like that.
He's like,
that's
like Planned Parenthood. I get him on the pills. You're like, wait, that's not what that is.
wait.
Basically, just like Judge Mata, the trial judge and Jones ruled favor for the client 100% of the time. So now it's 100%.
What?
Do you think Laura Owens knew that the lawyer she was hiring never won in trial and only won on appeal?
This will get awkward.
I like, though, that he's saying, he was like that decision, 99%. But he's saying, wait, 100%. Does that sound familiar? So is he admitting to us that actually that was a 100% loss?
Yeah. Yep, because it was. She never
Yeah.
granted one motion of his, not one.
Don't worry, though. It'll totally turn around.
Don't worry,
Due to-
Laura. Just write another check.
Due to the legal issues involved, Jones was big news at the time. Every national network carried stories about the case. This is also his go-to. Like, everything, if you look at me, everything is so big time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this
He's so
article.
well versed in with real media, like People Magazine, who can't even get the headline right, doesn't even know that the case was won and not tossed. It's so
like, dude.
embarrassing. It's so embarrassing that he thinks they're real media. Oh my God.
I just think it's funny. I'm like, dude, my ass has been in like the Washington Post, Rolling Stone, I mean, all these places, and it's fucking a joke. It's all
It is
a
a
joke. It doesn't
They don't
mean
do their
anything.
research. I bet, you know why he loves mainstream media so much? Because I bet they always send like the little blonde interns to interview him, and he gets to mansplain and law-splain all the shit to them. And what an appeal means. Now listen up, Nancy. An appeal is when I go to the appellate court. Now that's a bunch of bigger judges above this lower trial judge. I can just hear him. Like, imagine him law-splaining to some intern at NBC. Ugh. He can't pull that shit with me, which is why he won't. He's all, just look it up. Because he knows I caught him
Yikes.
dead to rights. I caught you dead to rights. Lying.
He doesn't lie. He's lawyering. What's up?
Lawyering. I caught him dead to rights. Lawyering. That's funny. That's what I'm going to call lying from now on. Lawyering.
That's pretty much, was it Tilted Lawyer that was like, yeah, actually, it's a legal thing that we do. We just don't really know about anything. That way we don't ever actually lie about it. And I'm like, yeah,
He said something hilarious today about why he hates lawyers. He was just like, I hate all lawyers, and this is why I hate them. This is why I hate them. Because of the way like people like David Gingras acts, like there's too many lawyers like that out there doing things. I also thought it was interesting that he said he thinks that if he were at a bar with Gingras, that Gingras would admit to him that his case is shit. And they would have a laugh about that sweet retainer cheddar. And he's got some nerve talking about super chat cheddar. I have never made 50 grand from super chat cheddar. Okay. Not in like, the time it takes him to get a $50,000 retainer for one stupid case. No way, man. That would take me probably 2 years.
I'd like to know his pay rate per hour, because it varies for so many people. I'd love to know in this case what it is.
Well, he's got a lot of nerve pretending like YouTubers make all this money that he, a lawyer, doesn't make. Come on.
The case was tried to a jury twice. The first
He's
jury
told this story already 3 times, by the way. I'm just pointing that out.
The second jury found in favor of the plaintiff and awarded $338,000 in damage. When that happened, it was basically the exact same thing that happened this case in Love. The plaintiff celebrated and cried about finally getting justice. That's disgusting, by the way. Like he's talking, because he's comparing that. He's saying this is what Clayton's doing. It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. They finally got justice. And she held press conferences. Her lawyer, no longer licensed, by the way. I totally spiked his ass to the ground. Posted a celebration video sitting in front of an American flag, bloviating about how great our justice system was. Sadly, that video was later removed, so I can't share it. Here's a fun little dilly interview that happened about 15 minutes after we got the verdict. Please note how happy, excited Clayton slashed out the plaintiff was. Look familiar? That's disgusting.
This is what a dick.
What
this
a
guy
gross
dick.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh when you lose. I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna fucking make it. I'm gonna do a week. I'm gonna do a parade of laughing at you. I'm gonna dedicate my Twitter account to an entire week. Yes, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Post every day.
I'm gonna join you. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. An entire week.
The appeals court might not even take up his appeal. They don't have to.
I want a picture, like afterwards, I want a picture of me. The I'm with stupid things. I want a picture of me with a shirt on that says I'm with stupid with my arm around him. I think that would be beautiful.
That would be awesome.
Yep. But like I always say, it ain't over till it's over. In Jones, as soon as we got the jury's verdict, my client and I did not cry over our defeat. We did not weep after getting our asses kicked. On the contrary, after they got their asses kicked, we hugged, high-fived, and got the hell out of Kentucky. Oh, those Kentuckians. DUI guy lawyers like, do what? What fuck DUI guy? What's going on? Is that Kentucky say what? Believe it or not, after we lost, we were overjoyed when we were done with a judge who was sadly corrupt, dishonest, or both. The judge was never going to do the right thing, and getting a jury verdict, even an adverse one, means we could finally move the case out of the judge's court and up to the Court of Appeals. Losing the second trial was honestly one of our best days ever because it cleared the way to victory. So you lost again? And you're like, that was good too? We kept high-fiving and hugging. I'm sure he did because his bank account kept getting fatter,
I understand what he is saying. I have seen cases where, you're in front of a judge who just dislikes you for whatever reason and also doesn't know the law and is maybe corrupt in some way. And your only chance is to get out to a higher court. That happened in Missouri constantly with the family court there. But it's strange to me that this is his pattern.
No client is going to lose and be happy about losing. No client. I mean, that's ridiculous. So once we got to the Court of Appeals, the victory was swift and decisive. The Court of Appeals smacked down every aspect of the trial judge's decision, confirming that I was not misstating the law. The trial judge, what does he think he's going to, okay, in this case, what aspect of this does he think he's going to be able to flip the script on and be like, yeah, there it is. That's where they messed up. You know, the trial judge was simply an unethical activist. So is this Matt as an
Wait,
activist?
I couldn't
too?
find my mute button, but I had something to say there. What he thinks, what he is basing he's hanging his hat on, is that Judge Mata's father may have been in the courtroom. I'm not even kidding. And the video that Laura shared was like a compilation video of people who were there talking about certain things that happened. And one of them was somebody saying that she saw Judge Mata's father, or a guy who claimed to be him, and that he said something about his daughter showing him a public document in this case. Again, we all have these public documents.
Yeah.
I don't, that's what he's hanging his hat on. He's hanging his hat on the fact that he believes the judge is biased because her dad was interested in the case. I don't know. I can't even explain it.
It's
Also,
so bizarre.
Also, he's upset that someone in the courthouse recognized me, and that somehow is prejudicial to Laura Owens.
Oh my God. So if they would have recognized anyone else there, that's so ridiculous.
Well, Dave is recognized.
He's
I guess
grasping at every straw he can.
I guess I just had I'm the one who I said it, But like,
so if Dan Rather was there
Yeah.
and got recognized, that would be bad. And that would cause a mistrial.
Being recognized by a court employee who has nothing to do with the case, someone who works outside of the courtroom, is not against the rules. It is not in any way. And also, that person never even said anything to me other than, I know who you are, which was just funny to me. I thought it was funny. And it is funny. And there's nothing wrong with that. And he's trying to make a big deal out of it. Like, somebody recognized me. Yeah, I bet he would love it if somebody recognized him. Wouldn't he, though? The chat's like, jealous much? Yeah. Wouldn't he go right out of his mind if he walked into a courtroom and a courthouse and employees, random employees were like, oh my God, it's David Gingras. He would love that.
My plan of wearing a T-shirt that said, yes, I am that mother flipping umbrella guy, like that would be bad. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I didn't know that. Thank you, David.
Apparently, according to him, it's judicial misconduct for anyone in the courthouse to recognize a member of the media who has a YouTube show.
So weird. So the trial judge was simply an unethical activist who believed his personal views were more important than the rule of law. His bosses at the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals agreed with every word I said, resulting in a complete reversal of the judgment against my client. Here's a video after we won. How sad do I sound? And look here. You always sound sad, dude. You
look sad, for sure.
Yeah.
But you
And
sound like a
note,
douchebag, so...
The lawyer speaking here on behalf of the client is not the guy who later lost his license. The younger guy is a sub who took over once the main guy lost his license. So he had to have somebody else lose their freaking license.
Yeah, but again, notice how he doesn't mention what happened for the guy to lose his license. It's probably totally unrelated to David Gingras.
I'm going to jump it's a quote. I'm going to jump that. I'm not even going to read that. I don't even care.
I mean, he's told the same story so many times. I mean, so many times. Can we be done with this story?
I figure we'll jump to right here, because what is the point?
Yeah, that's what... Please, skip to the end.
All right, so what's the point of all this? The answer should be obvious. Just because Clayton got a lone judge to agree with his claims does not mean that the ruling will withstand appeal. And here's a serious side note for all you Woodnick worshippers.
Oh my God.
Worshippers.
You know what? I didn't update my little Woodnick altar that I have in my house. I didn't put a new candle on it and some fruit and flowers today. And that's going to be bad luck for the next 7 years. Damn it.
Damn, how will he ever win a case with you doing that? I swear.
I know I'm very bad. I need to make sure that I attend to my Woodnick altar.
Gosh, I am disappointed. Hashtag yikes. I swear. And has Greg ever won an appeal? I'm sorry, handled an appeal? I can't find any evidence that he's ever argued even a single appeal, much less that he's ever prevailed in one. If you could point me to any prior appellate work he's done, I'd love to see it.
This is so dumb. Anybody who knows lawyers and lawyering knows that lawyers have specialties. They do not do everything. Okay. Greg has a law firm with people who work for him. They all have specialties. He is a trial lawyer. Greg Woodnick is a trial lawyer. My sister does both trial and appellate work. And she started doing more appellate work recently. And so she kind of has some good expertise in that, but that's not usual that you do trial and appellate work. It really isn't. Most of the time you specialize in something or the other. So you're a family law attorney and maybe you're good at research, or maybe you're good at jury selection, or maybe you're good at arguing in front of a jury. So lawyers take on specialties. Appellate law is its whole other specialty. And I would not be surprised, and I don't know this for a fact, but I would not be surprised if one of Greg's associates is an appellate attorney. But it doesn't matter that Greg doesn't have any, if that's the case, I don't know. If he doesn't have any appellate wins or whatever, or even never argued in an appellate case, doesn't matter at all.
His dumbass, like all of this is focused on typos or like a wrong date. I mean, here, like he's like, we need to hold a competition for the person who spots the most factual errors in this ruling. Let's not even include typos. Man, I've seen your filings, dude. Do not even get on that.
You put hashtag yikes in a motion. You used rainbow colors in a motion, you dummy. By the way, Tilted Lawyer has raided the chat, it looks like. Thank you, Omar, for the raid.
Up, Tilted? I want to get on the live stream. He did invite, by the way, today, but I had to go and take the kids to their activities.
I know he invited me too, and he was going to go on a little earlier, and I would have been able to make it, but then he went on an hour later, and that was right in my dinner time hour. So, and then it ran into our stream, so I wasn't able to. But next time, for sure.
But he did invite, and I would like to. I got to get on a live stream with him for a little bit. You know, when you did the review of everything that happened with the case, that video, but it was very short. I'd actually like to sit down and be able to ask him some questions. You know, I like sitting down with different lawyers and seeing how they take the case.
Look at Laura Owens' chat.
Laura Owens, thanks for the vibe there. Woodnick doesn't
have appellate experience
because he doesn't lose like Gingras. Yeah,
appeals are for losers.
That is very true.
Oh, that's funny.
It is bad when all of your appellate freaking work is based on your own losses.
On your losses, like. Well, I didn't win a trial, but I did manage to pull out this measly win from the appellate court.
Yeah, it's really bad when your arguments are, when I was flying the plane, it stalled and we almost crashed into a mountain, but I pulled it out at the last second and managed to land the plane. Oh, wow. That's something to brag about. Good job.
I mean, it's not like there aren't cases where appeals are necessary and you got a raw deal in court or the law was interpreted wrong. This is not one of them. Maybe this one that he's talking about, that he won't stop talking about, that he's told us the story like 8 freaking times. Maybe that one really was appealable. Obviously, he won the appeal. So, okay, great. They had problems with the case. However, this is not one of them. We have so many lawyers following this case. Omar does not see any appeal here. MG Law, no appeal. Nobody sees any room for an appeal. And look, I'll ask Jeff what he thinks. I don't think I've asked Jeff what he thinks about appeal possibilities here. There's no appeal here.
This is
I
so
would be
dumb.
shocked if we could come up with one lawyer I know who thinks that there's a valid appeal, hope here.
So he's like, does anyone else find it ironic that the very first finding in the ruling is completely wrong? Laura Owens, petitioner, filed a pro per petition to establish paternity on May 20th, 2023. Yeah, oh
Yeah,
no.
so what? That's called a Scrivener's error.
And
Big
then
deal.
he's like, seriously, does that mean the judge committed perjury, fraud? Should she go to jail? So he's trying to defend Laura making
yeah.
shit up on the stand.
By
No.
comparing it to the judge simply making a typo. Give me a break.
Yep, he's like, no, the judge simply misspoke and got the date wrong.
Yeah,
The case
nah.
had so many moving parts, it's understandable. And contrary to what the insane clown JFC posse
He keeps
believes.
on trying to make, quit trying to make fetch a thing. Like, this isn't going to work. Insane clown JFC posse is not catchy. Pond Scum posse is catchy. But
Yeah,
he
come up with
couldn't even
something
come,
like with a little
he
jangle.
couldn't even come up with that.
Imagine it on a t-shirt, dumbass. You
Yeah,
know?
if you
But then
can't
again, if he
make
makes it catchy, he knows we'll monetize it.
Yeah, but he can't make it catchy. He doesn't have if he could, he would, because he thinks he's, funny and hip and cool. He's like, hello, fellow kids. Hey, fellow insane clown JFC posse. Like, what? That
Hello,
doesn't even,
fellow lawyers.
you can't even
Yeah.
say that in a insane clown JFC posse doesn't have it. Sorry, David.
You can't even
It's
win
not
over
gonna
the
stick.
lawyers. Come on, son.
It's not going
But
to
people are
stick.
allowed to make mistakes. This is not a crime, even in the Wild West state of Arizona. So dumb. I personally can't even count the number of factual errors in the ruling. There's just so many, it's crazy.
Really? How many are there? Why don't you
Yeah,
list them?
Yeah, why don't we
List
get them
them.
all? Make another blog so I can
Like,
super
list
chat
all
cheddar that
the
baby.
factual errors that you claim are there.
In terms of our ability to win on appeal, one of the finest aspects of the ruling is this nugget. Here, the court finds petitioner provided false testimony as to the viability of the pregnancy in all three cases addressed in the procedural history. Wow. Why not a hashtag, by the way? Are you slipping?
Hashtag
buddy?
wow.
It needs to be like hashtag wow, fucker. Lean into it. Such a powerful statement. And the evidence received at trial to support that finding is, wait for it. Keep waiting.
Oh, God.
Keep waiting. That's right. Absolutely freaking nothing.
Okay, stop. There is not nothing. Let us break that down for a moment. The petitioner provided false testimony as to the viability of the pregnancy in all three cases addressed in the procedural history. Let me give you examples. 1. The order of protection hearing in October. Laura Owens said to the court, to Judge Duty, that she sent the sonogram video to Clayton Echard. She also said she sent him a picture of a sonogram. She claimed that the meme of her holding the picture of the sonogram, that was their son. Now, and that sonogram was a 21-week sonogram.
The sonogram also, remember the sonogram linked to a YouTube video.
Yeah,
So-
the video linked to a 7-year-old YouTube video. Okay, that's false testimony. So that's just the October order of protection hearing. She also claimed in that hearing. So here's number 2 false statement. She claimed that the woman who made the meme was Clayton Echard. We have proof that it wasn't, that it was somebody else, a Reddit user who is not Clayton. She also testified that she did not give that photo of her with her protruding, disgusting belly to anyone. And then in the same hearing, except for Clayton, she said, in the same hearing, she then admitted she did send it to about 10 people in the press, but they said they weren't going to publish it anywhere. What? That's false testimony. That's just 3 examples or 4 examples in one hearing. Let's move on to November 2. November 2, she tells Judge Gelketsis she's 100% pregnant and she saw Dr. Higley last Friday. Well, we know that that's not true because Dr. Higley doesn't have any records of Laura Owens ever being a client. She made appointments that she did not keep. That was a false testimony in the November 2nd hearing, which is one of the underlying cases in this procedural history. Let's go to February, shall we? The status hearing. I don't even have any notes in front of me. Look at how well I know this case. Let's go to February 21st, shall we? On February 21st, she told her lawyer, who then put his own reputation on the line and said to the judge, my client has never lied to this court. She has never intentionally lied to this court. That statement made him have to file a Rule 3.3 candor to the court. Oh my God, I shit myself because I shouldn't have said that. And I just found out on March 1st that she then lied about the sonogram that we entered into court because she changed the name on top of it and the place. And I found that out in a deposition. So forgive me, Judge, because I lied on behalf of my client during the February 21st hearing. That is every single case in the underlying case of this one where she provided false testimony. Gingras, take a fucking seat. You don't know what you're talking about. This will not get you an appeal win because you have just failed to prove it, because I can prove that she made false testimony in all of those proceedings.
Yeah, you can just, like, out of memory, you know, like bam, bam, bam. And I mean, oh, Lord.
It's disturbing that I know this case so well that I can pull these dates out of my ass. I know this case better than I know American history at this point.
It's not anonymous. I went under a fake name. You know? It's
That too.
Really?
Oh, and I went to Planned Parenthood on July 7th. And then, no, it's the 2nd. And
yeah. And the date it's closed. Whoopsie. You know?
I need to take some deep breaths and do some yoga.
I decided I wouldn't turn over any of the stuff that the court demanded that I do because, well, no, I didn't think I should because of anonymity. God, you could keep going on like all day long.
And there's so many. Yeah, I didn't even scratch the surface of the false testimony, guys. There's so much more. So much more.
That single error virtually guarantees the ruling will not stand on appeal. And guess what that means? Yup. Hashtag yup. After the case is remanded for further proceedings, Judge Matter will be removed from the case. That comes straight from Family Law Rule 6F. Anytime he's quoted any kind of rule, by the way, he's looked like an absolute jackass.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's look it up. Okay. Let's look it up. Let's even see what he's talking. Oh, is it linked? Can you just click on it?
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll open another. Give me a minute. I'm pulling it.
Because, every time he quotes a rule, it's always wrong. He's always wrong. All right. Change of judge is a matter of right. Let's go to F, right? Was 6F?
Let me see. Yes,
there's D.
6F. Yeah, I was looking to see what, make sure, okay.
F. Actions remanded from in actions remanded from an appellate court, the right to change of judge is renewed, and no event connected with the first trial constitutes a waiver. If the appellate decision requires a new trial or contested hearing, and the party seeking a change of judge has not previously exercised the party's right to change of judge in the action. Okay, but
so it requires
right, that's all he could win. But this is only if the appellate court agrees with him.
It's
a big
if. Oh, God.
It's a very big if.
It's hilarious to link that. Like, it reminds me of, that's the same thing media does, though. They'll link in something like they actually mean something because they don't think anybody will look. Right. Judge Matta has only been a judge for a few years, and so far her track record is not good. Here's a recent case where a decision of hers was tossed out and remanded after she waited for it, ignored a key procedural rule.
Okay, nobody actually looked at this. I kind of want to look at it. I think we should look at it.
It's
because he's quoting, what's the key procedural rule? And then he quotes the robing room, which I kind of like. Everybody's kind of dogging on the robing room, but I like it. I go there to hear what people in the courtroom are saying about judges. But I realize it is like Yelp. Anyone can leave a 2-star, 1-star review of a judge, and it may or may not be true. But I like them because I like to be able to see what people who've been in the courtroom have to say, especially people who had bad experiences. That doesn't mean that everything there is true, right? It doesn't mean that everything is being said is real.
So it was a due process issue. Again, there's a lot of argument over it, but the argument seems to be about due process, asserting that the Superior Court violated her right to due process by, quote, setting an accelerated or arbitrarily short trial.
Oh, so it was a timing thing? That the trial was too short?
That's what it looks like. Again, there may be, it's a. People can read through this if they want to. I'll probably read through it just to see if I'm missing anything in it.
Well,
Yeah,
I kind of do agree on some of these time limits. I think it's a constitutional due process violation, but that doesn't mean that courts don't do it all the time. Now,
yeah. What
the
cases
question
have
is,
we not
should
seen?
they?
Yeah, what cases? No, I actually agree. We should have more time. I think
I think so too.
if Clayton Echard would have had more time, my God, like the stuff they didn't have time to get to. Again, if they set no time limit, like you think about it, we would have Mike Maroncini, Greg Gillespie.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are just two
Oh,
little
it would have been
factors in that.
so much worse for
Yeah.
her.
It would have been he
He
likes to
should
say,
not be complaining about not enough time.
to quote Trump, like he likes to say, it'd be a bloodbath, right? That's what he likes to throw that in there. So there you go.
He sure does. I'm saying
Yep.
goodnight to Hangry. Good night.
Good night, viewer or person.
Say goodnight,
Good night,
chat.
fellow human.
Good night, chat. Bye, chat.
Okay. Sleep tight.
I hope to get famous off it.
Fame, not me.
So there's other anecdotal evidence that suggests Judge Matta has a history of doing things which would normally result in a mistrial in normal civil context. For example, according to her reviews, where she currently has a rating of 2 stars out of 10, one former litigant claims the judge used Google to research an aspect of the case dealing with snake behavior.
Was she
Snake
googling?
behavior.
Was she googling if
Sizzle.
do snakes snore? Wait a minute. You know what we need here is snake chorus. Snake chorus. She was googling do snakes snore? I bet that's what it was. And of course, it had something to do with snakes.
I just love that the snake behavior is snakes. Oh, God. Folks, I should not have to explain this, but a judge is not allowed to use Google to decide material facts on the case. Well, luckily, that didn't happen in this,
Well, it
right?
might not have been a material fact in the case. It may not have been. I mean,
Obviously.
we don't know. I mean, it's just like a Yelp review.
Well, the judge, where did she use Google in this one? How does that fit with this? Doesn't. Obviously, we have no way of knowing if this allegation is true. It could be a lie posted by a disgruntled litigant. But if the story is true, well, I'm going to bite my tongue and just leave that out there. Oh, so you put in all this and this is biting your tongue? I hear you. You know? Come on.
Yeah, let me reprint unfounded allegations against a judge I'm in front of. Great idea.
Oh, like this. Greg Gillespie has been emailing me. Oh, you didn't want him to email you now? Hey, that's fascinating. You kind of begged him to, suggesting he's going to
did.
sue Laura. If you're reading this, Greg, allow me to remind you, bro, you already sued her with Master Woodnick representing you and lost. You can't sue Laura for a claim that you already lost.
Well, it's true that if he sues for the exact same
Yes,
thing,
it can be
but
much
there's
different.
there could be other things. Who knows? And I don't even know if that's
think,
true. I don't know if we don't know if that's true. We don't know what Greg said to him, or if he
I'm
said
curious.
anything at all.
Yeah, besides the letters that we got, we saw a few where Greg absolutely demolished you, by the way, David. He wrecked you for the public. It was so beautiful to see. So after about 12 hours before Judge Matta's
By the
ruling
way,
was
what
issued.
does Greg Gillespie have to do with his appeal win? What even is that? Why was he even mentioned?
I just want to talk smack about Greg and gaslight him because he's because Laura probably wants that.
Yeah, that's weird to me. That almost feels like a threat. And here you have Greg, who's been the one. He will not talk about this case. He is scared that she's going to come after him and, lie again and say that he violated the restraining order or the order of protection. And so Greg he's not engaging. And yet this guy just keeps bringing him up
Well, he enjoys going after Greg because, again, gaslighting those victims, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about 12 hours before Judge Matta's ruling was issued, I sent an email to the court explaining why we believe there may be grounds to remove Judge Matta from the
Oh, he
case
sent an
for
email?
cause.
An email? Well, that's strange because in People and on Laura's little blog, he said he filed
Filed a motion.
a notice.
Filed a
He
notice.
filed
Yeah.
a notice. Well, if he did file a notice to the court, it would be on the docket. And that's why I asked him, how come, strangely, this alleged filing you made isn't on the docket? Oh, because it's an email?
Yeah, he says that here. Check this out. I'm just going to read this thread because this is fascinating.
See how I catch him in this shit? See why he doesn't respond to me? And People never even ask him a question like, oh, can I see your notice? Can I see that notice that you filed? They don't even ask him.
It says basically there is a rule that allows a party to file a notice saying they have reason to believe a judge is either biased or unfair. In this instance, the concern was based on stories posted on social media that claimed Judge Matta's father attended the trial, and afterward he spoke to members of Clayton's cult.
Oh no, he used his First Amendment right to speak to people? Oh my God.
He spoke.
She should be disbarred. We should take her off the bench. We should strip her of her robe. I mean, my God, her father spoke to people.
You can't speak. What's going on? According to at least one person, the judge's father made statements implying that Judge Matta shared information about the case with him, including a suggestion she was going to make adverse rulings before the trial began.
I heard the video clip that Laura shared was the woman who said that he saw a public filing in the case, not suggesting she was going to make adverse rulings. I never heard that part. That he's just making that up unless he has something we haven't seen.
And he says, folks, if that story is true, I mean, again, this is some salacious shit to actually claim. Well, why don't you link that? You didn't have a problem linking all this other stuff. So link to that clip. I'd love to see it.
He let Laura do it. He let Laura link it.
Well, I'd like to see him link it. Go in, make a correction, buddy. If its story is true, and at the moment we cannot confirm it either way, that would be one of the most outrageous acts of judicial misconduct.
Really? No.
Imaginable.
Let me explain what the most outrageous act of judicial misconduct is. It's Judge Eric Amy in Missouri who jailed children because they refused to follow his ridiculous order to live with the mother they didn't want to live with because she was trying to keep them from their career with their father in Hollywood. He came off the bench and took them personally to jail cells, stripped them of their socks, and put them in jail cells separate from each other. And then a couple months later, when they wouldn't go to see their mother, he sent police officers to arrest them. Little 12-year-old and 14-year-old, took them to juvenile hall, had them strip searched, and starved for 24 hours before they had counsel representing them. So that's the most outrageous judicial misconduct you've ever heard. Certainly not having your dad if your dad comes and watches you in court. Like, shut up, David. I've seen judicial misconduct. It's not this.
I like this part because he's always puts this kind of, but because I'm a reasonable person, I do not believe it was fair to file a notice of change of judge, which would have gone to Judge Matta's boss for decision without first asking Judge Matta to explain whether the allegations were true. Rather than doing so, the clerk responded by saying the judge would prefer a motion. Rather than
wait a minute.
answering.
Wait a minute. Did he just admit that he didn't do the thing he should have done?
Yeah, he sent an email, which he's asking for communications privately with the judge.
Wait a minute, hold on. He told People magazine that he filed a notice of change of judge. Now he says here, I did not believe it was fair to file a notice of change of judge. What? So you didn't do the thing you knew you had to do procedurally to get this done for your client. That was intentional.
The judge is like,
because
hey.
he knows he's going to get it smacked down. They're going to say no. So now he's creating a situation where he's claiming to the media he did this thing, and then now he's saying in another blog he really didn't do it. He just sent an ex parte communication to the judge, which he knows is not allowed.
That's exactly it. And the judge said, "Hey, you need to file a motion," or the clerk said, instead of answering his questions privately, which
That's not, you can't have your questions answered privately by a judge. No.
Denied. Sit down.
That's messed up to admit, you know.
Yeah, did he copy Greg Woodnick on this private communication? Or was this a violation?
I mean, that doesn't, the way he describes it sounds like a violation.
That's the way he described it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's his words. I'm just taking his word at face value on what he did, not his allegation, but what he did in addressing these rumor mongering that apparently, until he proves that that was said, it's rumor mongering.
The judge has no obligation to answer his questions.
Isn't this a threat thoe?
Yes.
You could take it, you know, because
he went from threatening to Isabel Ranney, to threatening Greg Woodnick, to threatening Dave Neal, to threatening me, to threatening all these other. Now he's threatening Judge Mata personally in her inbox. Holy shit!
That's amazing. That's crazy.
He's my favorite lawyer ever. He's my favorite. He's gonna end up in handcuffs before this is all over. Bring your toothbrush, Gingras.
Oh, he's like, I always carry my toothbrush in my tonsil sack. Based on the reply from the clerk, I began to draft the notice to remove Judge Mata, but as expected, she issued her decision literally hours before the notice could be completed.
Oh,
so she put the notice in.
You didn't get it done in time.
No. She made the motion go through to stop him from being able to do that.
She made her order. Yeah. But the order was 19 pages, Tug. How long do you think it took her to write a 19-page order? 19 pages.
Ridiculous. Yes,
I mean,
it
took her days.
Yeah, and it was already there. You know? I mean, come on.
There's no way that she just like within, whenever he sent that email to the next day, she was like, "Oh, I better get this order done." That's not how it works.
Look at this. He's still saying I haven't done anything. If I wanted, and I believe the facts of law support it, I could still file a notice asking Judge Mata's boss, the presiding judge, to remove her from the case.
If I believed the facts and the law supported it? If I believed? So you don't believe it? You're just spreading rumors and lies about Judge Mata and her father, by the way. You're spreading that disparagement. And you don't even believe that the facts and the law support it. That is his own words.
He's even saying, no, listen to this shit. This is crazy. I read ahead while we're talking. Because of this phase of the case is basically 99% done. The only thing left is for Mata to determine the amount of Clayton's fees. I'm not sure that's going to be necessary. As noted above, assuming the Court of Appeals reverses and remands any aspect of this week's ruling, we will automatically get a new judge. Thus, I'm not sure there's a lot of value in raising this issue now.
He's hanging his
just
hat
rumor-mongering
on reversing and remanding. I don't even think that the Court of Appeals has to hear his appeal. If they find it to be frivolous, they're going to say, no, we're not even going to look at it.
That's
getting
nuts.
them to look at it would be a victory.
That is nuts.
I like this part.
That's a lot of words, and maybe it's not the part most people case about. Most people
care about? Care about.
I like case about better. I will wrap up with a couple of comments on two things I bet most people want to know. Number one, how is Laura feeling? And number two, do I still believe her story? As for point one, what I can say, Laura isn't happy. She's shocked. She honestly doesn't understand how the court could get this so wrong. She feels betrayed by Judge Mata and by the court system as a whole. Oh, God, I keep reminding her of a couple things. First, you have to accept our courts. And not perfect, Lord, they're not perfect. It is a proven fact that innocent people are sometimes convicted and sent to death row. Is she going to go fucking death row, man?
Oh, my God, if he keeps it up, she might end up there.
She might. That happens. That happens, Laura. It's not even a rare thing. I guess the only explanation I can offer is that the courts are comprised of human beings, and humans are very, very imperfect creatures. Yes, they are dirty, corrupt, self-serving folks all around us. That's fucked up to throw in because he's talking about this court. Dirty, corrupt, and self-serving. There are also good people, man, many good people. At the end of the day, well, this is cold comfort to be sure. Laura needs to accept that this ruling does not define her. Oh, it does. It very well does. She says the judge got this 100% wrong, and she intends to continue fighting this for as long as her checkbook holds. I mean, as long as it takes. As long as she can write that check, we're going to fight. As for point 2, God, where I'm... that was short, actually, for him, don't you think? That was actually really short for him. He
loves to write numbered lists.
So,
he really likes
as for
to
PowerPoint presentation number 2, after all this, I'm still 100% on Laura's side.
Yeah, because she's writing the checks.
Yep. I believe she was pregnant. I believe the evidence shows she had a miscarriage that happened without her knowing it. But even if I give Clayton all benefit of the doubt and accept his view of what happened, I am still, let's see, what is that? 1,000,000% certain the court's decision was still wrong. Laura tried to drop the case as soon as she reasonably could. Yeah, we found out the judge addressed that too in the ruling, saying, well, she said she was going to address this in a hearing that actually never took place. So, yeah, that's not right. That's messed up. The judge was like, no, you don't get away with that. Regardless of why she made that decision, the fact remains, I like how he skipped that. Regardless of why, let's skip why she made that decision. The fact remains, Clayton could have simply let the case get dismissed, and he would never have incurred a penny of fees. If Clayton believes Laura lied about being pregnant, he could have simply sued her in normal civil court for defamation or whatever. But he chose not to do this, presumably because convincing a jury of 12 neutral people to rule against Laura is a lot harder than convincing one judge with a father who apparently is a fan of one side. Daddy got thrown in again. Holy shit.
And how does he, from the information that we heard, the scuttlebutt, the speculation about her dad, there was no question of whether, there was nothing said about whose side. If he said he was there to see the circus or the shit show or whatever, if he said that, he could have been talking about, I don't know, the media circus in the parking lot with the breadstick truck and are you kidding me? There was a caterer and a tent, and there were 2 hobos live streaming in the parking lot, climbing up on top of vans and stuff. Like, we don't know what they were talking. We don't know what if he said anything, he wasn't talking about us and how silly he thought we were. We were wearing our best desert gear and hats and things. I mean, we were having a party out there with blow
He
pop.
obviously was not a fan, because any real fan would have been like, psh, Dave Neal not wearing shorts. I'm out of here.
I came for the shorts and I was sorely disappointed.
I would have. When I saw that, I was like, I'm going to get a freaking red eye down there and I'm going to throw some shorts in his face. Unfortunately, it was only an hour trial, so I didn't have a chance. Sad. Sad.
Amy Bonner says, I looked really cute in court that day. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I did like my big floppy hat. I thought the hat, and it was so funny. Dave and I were matching. And we didn't plan that. We were both wearing desert camel color and straw hats. It's just, we're synced like that. We're like twins.
You were simpatico. It was beautiful.
Simpatico. We're just on the same level.
I was
me
like, oh,
me and my
so
little bro.
darling. Yeah. I like Dave.
It was like our mommy dressed us that day.
What I like about Dave too, some people they can't take banner and everything else. You know, they're cover and they're good people, but like Dave, like making jokes about the short shorts and stuff, man, he rolls with everything. I love it. I think it's fun. I actually have enjoyed watching his coverage. He does a damn good interview. He's a damn good interviewer. He's much
He's
better
really
interviewer.
good.
Yeah. He's much better at it than like from, you know,
He came
good
into
on the fly.
with Mike Maricini and dropped a question that made Mike cry, and the entire audience cried. And like, I was like, "Damn, son, that that was unbelievable."
Yeah, people should check that out. It's a good interview. I finally had a chance to sit down and listen. You know, through the day I was walking around with it in my headphones. My kids were like, "Dad, what are you wearing headphones?" I was like, "I'm listening to something." You know, that way I can listen to it through everything. It was good. It was good. So for now, no further comments from me about this. I'm on vacation with my family, and I intend to enjoy the rest of the trip. I took a break for a holiday to share these comments, but that's it. Back to family time. By the way, I'm going to write more, you know. So
Back
he
to
wrote all
family time now, but not really. Psych.
his family he's on a trip with his family, and he wrote all of
Oh
this.
God.
I mean, think about
His wife must be the most
That's
long-suffering
insane.
woman on earth.
You know, he doesn't get paid to do that. Like for me, okay, if I went on a trip with the kids or something, I would take my computer with me. I would make a video or do something. I mean, that's just part of what you do. I keep it around. But I make money that can be used for the kids, vacation, whatever. He's doing this part right here. He's already collected his money, unless he's getting paid per blog entry. Maybe he gets to charge her for blog entries. I'm not sure.
He claims that he's not getting paid for any of this blogging. I
mean,
buy
he's
it.
doing PR for free. That's really strange, you know?
Yeah, I don't buy it. I think he's lawyering. That's what I think.
That's what it sounds like. Moving forward, I will not be posting anything further about this case. At least until, he's like, I'm not doing anything. Well, at least until the opening brief is filed.
But then he was tweeting all day.
I love it. My guess is that that will happen sometime later this fall, perhaps October, November timeframe. No, that doesn't mean 0 tweets, by the way, Megan. He gets to tweet. If something comes up, I'll reverse the right to comment. So, yeah, you brought up, he was like, no way.
I don't mean tweeting.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment whatsoever, but tweets, I'm fabulous on Twitter. I mean, I saw the other day that he got like a like or two. And I bet he was like, holy shit, there is a like on one of my posts.
Gina Ballerina says there's a higher probability that Dave and Megan are actually twins than the twins that Laura Owens claims.
The real twins in the case, right? Oh, man. But otherwise, just remember this case is not over. You think you know the final outcome, but you don't. All you have is one decision from one judge who appears to have made up her mind 6 months ago. By the way, she made it up 6 months ago. And that same judge
How
is
does he know
recently...
that she made her mind up 6 months ago?
Well,
I wouldn't
because-
say that. I would say that on February 21st, I have an idea that she was not buying Laura's story, but nobody was buying Laura's story. But I don't think her mind was made up.
He was like,
she was
well, and-
asking for things. She was making her sign the HIPAA release to get the evidence that she needed to make the case. How does he know 6 months ago would be what? What are we talking, like October?
He's like, well, you know, her dad said it to a YouTuber. Allegedly, I can confirm that right now. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know anything
And he
about
doesn't even
that.
believe that the facts support that because he hasn't filed that thing he's supposed to file if he did. Unbelievable.
I mean, because what he did looks like a fucking threat. I mean, with everything else, man, if he does not get, if there's no repercussion or ramification for anything that he's done, holy shit, what a miscarriage. Other people, he talks about other people losing their licenses over different things. Man, maybe he should look in the mirror sometimes because, holy God. And if he's done these kind of activities beforehand, that's even crazier. Because he's talking about how everybody hates him. You know, they hated him in this because he likes to threaten people. Not his stupid filings, threats. That's why people didn't like him. Let's see, but otherwise, case is not
That's
over.
why
One
everybody hates
judge.
you.
The same judge has recently been reversed by the Court of Appeals, so who knows? That may happen again. Until then, thanks for all the passionate interest. I'm happy to answer individual questions via email, but not from the JFC cult. Everyone else is welcome.
That's
Where
all
the-
who exists. There isn't anybody else. Oh, I love reading the comments, though. We should
Yeah.
read some of these comments.
I'm gonna go, let's see. There's actually questions, so I'm gonna skip the
Right,
questions.
those are
just
dumb. I know
because-
the answers. No, so I didn't mean to call Rebecca dumb, but I know the
No,
answers.
it's
to those.
not. It's well, you know how he's going to answer is what you're saying.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
No one cares. You're just wasting. You're just going to try to waste Laura's money by pretending you'll win. That's Gingrich Jr. comedy.
Yep. Gingrich Jr.
You are an idiot. Get in line. She will file false charges on you now too.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. Your client's a liar, needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. For each perjury and false document she's facing 5 years plus at a minimum. And she chose to continue the lie, she could face minimum of 5 years. And the world will email Maricopa prosecutor's office during an election year to prosecute this liar to the fullest extent. And you to the Arizona Bar Association for your outlandish baseball hand gestures to your client to further lie. Disgusting, both of you. Oh, you both play dirty.
I like,
Yeah.
if I wasn't convinced before, I am now.
Yeah. Neither one of you deal in reality. I like that. Yeah, you cannot have a meaningful in reality conversation with someone like this. Laura needs to focus on mental health and accept what she did was wrong. You both played dirty. That's true. You know, people are like, the three, the 3 times, the 3 cases lied. Why are you saying there's zero evidence for this presented at trial? I saw the trial. There
was lots of it.
All I hear when I read this is the snake chorus background music playing. There was nothing. Hey, let me. Oh man, you need to start that one. I'm gonna read like a portion to that. Let me see.
Ready?
Hey, give me 1 second. I got to get to the. Good God, there's a lot of words here. Man.
I told you it was so long.
Okay, this was the part they were pointing
Are you
out
ready?
right here. Yes, we're here.
All right.
Does anyone else find it ironic that the very first filing in this ruling is completely wrong? Laura Owens, who is the petitioner, she filed a pro per petition to establish attorney. Yeah, it sounds good. It works. It does. Seriously, hashtag yikes. Donald Trump will steal your soul and give it to Clayton.
Oh God! I love how every time we play that, there's snakes in the chat. It's just all snakes, just all snakes.
Snake. Someday Woodnick will write a blog post.
Of the attorney who worked against who got disbarred. Oh, Genty, I love it. It will come full circle, except Woodnick will be telling the truth.
Maricopa County resident. Oh. Looking forward to reading your blog after the ability to appeal is denied. Better start sharpening your hand signal skills for your perjury and evidence tampering trial.
Oh God, I hope she hires him for her criminal trial.
Oh my God.
I swear to you right now, chat, I will go back to Arizona for that. We will have the Townsville Twins
Holy
court
shit.
hearing part 2.
If he did that, I might pop up with that shirt I was talking about. Yes, I am that mother flipping. I might even make that there. Oh Lord, there's just so much of this. Like, look how bad this goes for him.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh, here he
What's the
is.
one-
He's
Here
on
he is.
vacation with his family.
I thought he said he wasn't going to post anymore.
I'll give you this comment. I'll give this comment the award for worst logic. You think Woodnick's lack of appellant experience is because he wins so much? If that were true, and if Woodnick won all the time, don't you think the losing party would appeal as I plan to? In which case, Woodnick would have a clear record of also winning on appeal. You guys are really unbelievable. Never seen anything like this cult. And there is no other term that fits. It's a cult. Snakes. Look at that douchey, smarmy picture.
At least we don't do any animal sacrifices here.
Man.
But speaking of snakes, we have a snake theme going on in this case. I have it. So I found the snake, the robing room, whatchamacallit, complaint about Judge Mata and the snakes. And this is really funny. We need to read this because I think it's funny and it's going to make you laugh. So wait, where do I go? Here we go. All right, there.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. So this is the one. By the way, there's a bunch of nice ones now because of the Laura Owens case. Everybody's like, this is a great judge. This one says, this was from March of 2024. Clearly biased from the start. I had custody of my children for the past several years. Year after year, my ex takes me to court with a new lawyer. Once the mandatory year is up and she can file. Year after year, she was denied. Some judges even saying she brought the same complaints year after year. I could tell as soon as the hearing started, Mata had already made up her mind. My ex made a huge deal about my ball python, a snake about 1.5 feet, getting out of his cage and seeking warmth with our 13-year-old daughter. It is actually my daughter's snake. It is also interesting to note, and my attorney brought up, my ex has the same exact species of snake in her home, only a little bigger because hers is a female. When I testified that the issue my ex was referring to was over a year prior, and the snake was just looking for warmth, and I had bought, is she sure this wasn't David Gingras sneaking into her home? And I had bought new cage locks, and the snake had gotten out since. The judge interrupted my testimony to say that she Googled a snake lying next to someone, and it means they are sizing up their prey. That is when I knew I was losing. First of all, a judge should know to check her sources on the internet, but instead interrupts my testimony to talk about an urban legend, saying my daughter may be in danger with this snake. She also didn't give any means of transitioning our children in her order from one state to another, which caused tremendous grief and turmoil for my children when my ex insisted they move the day the order came in, with no notice because they weren't even aware there was a trial and a decision coming. So is the snake thing, now we don't know if this is true. This could all not be true, but you know what you can do? You can send an email to the poster. So I actually did with just a little note to say, hey, I'm a reporter. I'd like to talk to you about your case with Judge Mata, just to, find out, is this a real person? Sure. Because if you notice the date, it's this year. It's March. It's March of 2024, right after the February hearing. So
it makes you wonder.
These are anonymous people.
I mean,
so
if this were,
a real story?
If this were a real story, this would be if this would be a whole side of something, this would be a horrible decision, by the way. A judge that makes horrible decisions can also make a good decision. You never know.
That's also
but
true.
That may not be real at all. If it is,
it might not be real.
I reserve the right to say that would be a shitty fucking thing to do, right?
It might not be real though. That's the thing, is that these are anonymous commenters. Now, this does not sound like Judge Mata at all. Here's another one that has a lower rating. She judges upon her past cases and will threaten punishable contempt of court while ignoring provided proof of the other party's lawyer lying repeatedly in court documents and under oath in hearings. If you're representing yourself against a party that hired a lawyer and you have Judge Julie Mata, you can safely assume you will be considered to be a liar over the opposing lawyer. She has such a calm temperament that I would find it hard to believe she threatened anybody with contempt. If anybody deserved to be threatened with contempt, it was Laura Owens. And the judge did not do it.
She was patient. I mean, overly. I thought overly patient with her. Yeah.
So patient. The patience of a saint, this woman. So that doesn't really sound like our experience with her at all. So
Snake one though. I mean,
the
like you
snake
said,
one's
there's
kind of
no,
funny.
yeah, there's no proof that that's real or not. I mean, and again, it
Yeah.
could be somebody can make a terrible decision, but it does not. That doesn't say anything on this case. We have followed that, and again, if I had any proof there, it would have been real easy for Laura to prove that she wasn't lying. That one thing, again, Planned Parenthood, that would have been a bomb. It would have gone off. You know what? I would have apologized. I would have been like, yo, okay, hey, I looked at this wrong. My bad. But you know what? It didn't happen. Instead, she doubled, tripled, quadrupled down, changed her story. It's so smarmy about it. Ugh, yuck.
So interestingly enough, I just Googled sleeping with snakes to see what comes up. And everything that comes up from reptile forums to everything is sleeping with snakes is not a good idea. There's a good chance of hurting the snake or the snake hurting you.
Yeah. There's also, any kind of reptile.
It says if you do it with the big snake, you run the risk of being constricted while you sleep. And with a small snake, it will either escape or likely be crushed to death under your weight. If you end up with a snake on your chest while you're sleeping, you can rest assured the snake is not in an aggressive mood. That's interesting. That's outdoor sleeping, like sleeping outdoors, like if you wake up with a snake on you.
I've been there, done that. I have to say.
Have you really?
I have, yeah. Like I live out here. My daughter was laughing at me today. We were talking about snakes for pets. Somebody brought it up, and she was like, "Yeah, my dad, he just grabs them up, in the backyard. He sees one. We don't see them as much over here." But she was laughing at it because she was like, "My friends were like, hey, really? Oh my goodness!" I was like, "We live in the South, girl. It ain't a big deal." But yeah, I've had that before. I've had,
Oh crap!
you go
I have
out
something
if it's
in my
cold,
ears.
like they seek warmth, and you're warm. You're a nice heating pad. So if it's cold outside, yeah, you got to be careful about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, not frightening in its own way. I'm not saying that's something I'd want, but it's happened before. Sleep on the ground. Hey, yeah, it's not good. I'm gonna hit some super chats. Let's see.
Okay.
Laura, what's up, Laura? Thank you for the gifted membership, by the way. Appreciate you. Thank you. AJ Stone, my friend. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, my friend. I was watching them fall in at the beginning because all these were, falling in. I was like, oh, yeah. K-Rab, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships as well. Thank you. There were 16 that fell in there. Fallen Hero, thank you for a gifted membership. Good to see you too, my friend. Good to see all of you, by the way. Appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted membership. Amy, thanks for the 18 months. No statement attached, but plenty of statement in your backing. Thank you. Granite, thanks for the 18 months. Allergic to eggs, tree nuts, peanuts, fish, shellfish, plus others. Thankfully not bacon or potato chips.
Well, thanks for it's a good thing for small blessings.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least I got the bacon going. Yep, exactly.
I know the chat keeps telling me that there's no rating in the robing room, but there is. I just found it and I showed it to you. So maybe they're not looking in the right place.
Yeah, they have a statistical breakdown too. Like, they have a, like you can go in and like look
Yeah,
at
I
the
see it.
statistics. Yeah.
And I just showed it to you guys, so it's there. I didn't make that up, I swear. Although someone may have.
Amy,
Might
thank you
have
for
come
the
from the
gifted membership.
casita.
Oh, there's Laura, by the way. I like the Laura Owens ones. They're fun. Amy,
I know,
thank you.
she's funny.
Appreciate you. Here's Laura Owens. Thanks for the 5. Megan in Maui. Sounds like me with morning sickness. HCG has that effect. Megan in Maui.
Oh, God.
What's up, Dave Mill? Mr. Short Shorts. Those shorts aren't even close to reaching the level of justice I aspire for. I'm telling you. That's what I mean, man. They're going to have a short off. It'd be funny if if Gingrich started posting pictures of himself and his shorts kept getting shorter. That would be hilarious.
I would be so down for that. That would be so funny. I might even give him honorary cult membership if he did that.
Oh, my God. That'd be a lot of fun. He
That would be fun.
That would be, I mean, again, he could lean in and have a lot of fun and he could be opposing counsel and do all kinds of stuff and be the absolute douchebag. But there could be a good way to, again, he's my favorite lawyer already, so why not? Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2 there. Gingrich watches Megan with no shorts on.
Ew, no.
With his wife's shorts on.
His wife's shorts.
Desiree Cox, thanks for 5. Tell him you're disinclined to acquiesce to his request. Days of Clarity, thanks for the 2. Megan, call your article Amber Heard 2.0. I mean, really, she set the standard. So it'd be funny to see if David got really angry if you were like, Amber Heard 2.0, question mark, exclamation point. Scranton Strangler, thanks for the 5. My heart broke for MM and the loss he's had because of Laura Owens. Yeah, for sure. Imagine the money JD lost to AH's lies. Yeah. 7 figures easy. AH should have had criminal charges. Yeah, true. But a lot of times this is what you see with people. They just want to move on, like all the time. Victims or survivors. I mean, really, you keep getting re-victimized and re-victimized. People just want to move on with their lives. They don't want to invite that monster back in. So, speaking of monsters, Laura Owens. While I'm generally known for doing things in 2s, I don't think we need another Mike interview doing things in 2s.
I really appreciate this, Laura Owens.
I love the Laura Owens ones. I love them. What's up, Il? Thanks for the 8 there. Appreciate it. I'm curious, how did Clayton find Woodnick? Was it a fluke that he found the same lawyer?
No. I think he found Greg first. Or Greg found him and then introduced him to Woodnick. I think that's how that worked.
He's been motivated for sure. They've done really good too. He seemed very motivated. So, Laura Owens, thanks for the 2. Listen, JFC Cult. I even clicked on it talking about your article. Get to it. Yes, by the way, it is at the top of the chat. Make sure while we're sitting here, click on that
I'm going to check and see if it's still trending. And if it's not, I may have to shame you again, chat. I will shame you and shame you. Damn it, chat. It's number 6. Very unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Number 6.
Click on that. Get that out there though, for real. Get an
if you
actual.
Share it on social media, it really helps, especially if you share it on Facebook, which is weird. I know, but if I share it on Facebook, they accuse me of spamming, so I'm not allowed to do that. But if you share it, maybe they won't.
Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. I'm skinny because mama ain't been getting my protein lately.
Oh, Lord.
Next.
Yeah, she's probably striking out on the dating apps, I'm thinking, at this point.
Oh, God. Protein shakes. Yuck.
Ew.
I dare, thanks for the 5. I was watching the Karen Reed trial. Medical examiner had his voice or vocal fry. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to go back and watch that. Was that today's stream? The most hilarious guy ever in that trial is the expert who's the crash expert. And he literally told the defense attorney that the crime scene told him something. And the defense attorney gave him like 2 more he's like, the crime scene told you? And he was like, yeah, the crime scene. And I'm like, I wish the defense attorney had said, is the crime scene in the room with us right now?
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard.
That is a crazy way of putting that. But they say all I think of is she's related to Laura Owens. Oh, Laura Owens, again, thank you for the 5 there. Appreciate that. Trying to keep my weight down so Pony and I can finally step over that 2-foot-high log. Fingers crossed. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
Tug,
Jan?
I gotta drop
Okay.
out. I might
All
I might come back, but let me. I'm
Okay.
gonna go from.
Okay. All right. Catch you. Well, I think I froze up again. We'll see. Let me let me see if I'm actually live again or not. Lord, we've had freezing up of this thing so many times. Let me see if I'm frozen. Give me 1 second. I'm good. Okay, thank you. Something froze up. I get the reason I mentioned that is because the voice, like when Megan said that, it was like, you know, and for me, she froze up. So.
You still live?
Yes, I'm live. I'm reading the super chats now. It'll be about 15 minutes. I'll go.
Guess what happened?
No, you can tell me later. You can tell me. You can tell me later. Well, hey, go help Sissy clean that up, okay?
Hey, have that Coke.
No.
Also, I want to ask Gigi for another plushie, but I don't want to see him ungrateful.
Oh well, hey, go straighten those up, and I'll be off in a minute. Okay.
Do you think I can ask her for a new plushie?
I will talk about it a little bit. Okay.
You want help? I need to
Yeah.
help you clean up that
Yeah. I see what the point of that was. You hear that? She was like, that was my oldest daughter. She was like, yeah, guess what Sissy did? I was like, well, she pushed all the stuffies off my bed. I was like, okay, well, I'll clean them back up. I told her the Lord. Then she told me the real reason she was here. She was like, can I ask my grandmother, or Gigi, can I ask her for another stuffy? I want to ask, but I don't want to seem ungrateful if I'm asking for something. I was like, that's cute there. Yeah. You know, she's like, oh, I want to ask her for stuff, but I don't want to be ungrateful. I was like, that's nice to be able to do it like that. She tries to be really nice about everything. That's cute, though. Jam, thanks for the 2. Was this Mira's first case under MATA? He kept saying it wasn't. You know, there's been a lot of argument about, somebody, I can't remember, somebody was talking about that. I can't remember who it was, but he claimed that he's been in the courts and stuff, so... but he said, new judge and everything else. So it doesn't seem like he's been there, does it? Unhung hero? Thanks for the 2. Aloha, BJ. Scranton Strangler, thanks for the 2. They chugs can go back years. These are for false accusations. Should too. Yeah. If those charges, so if SA charges can go back years, false accusations should too. They should indeed, you know. They should too. Hey, 1 second. I gotta tell them to close the door. 1 second. I had to ask them to close the door. They're playing right by the door. Heather, thanks to the 2. She won't stop unless her family stops funding her. Yeah. I mean, you know, it'll be a bottomless pit of suing. Lawsuits. I think that'll go on forever. You know, and that's unhealthy. That very much is. Sooner or later, though, I mean, this case can run out of appeals. Also, somebody brought up in the comments, and this is a very interesting addition to it. If this has been referred over in an election year, you know, bad press is always, that's not good. Laura Owens, thanks for the internet is forever. Also forever, HPV. Get that shot, girls. Indeed. Massboard, thanks for the 5 there. Meg, I clicked and shared. Believe me, I did. I believe in Dave, Meg, and Tug. Thank you. Actually, for the reason I say this, I get so irritated with the mainstream media about what's going on with this because they took the easy way with it. They would not write an article about everything that came up. First of all, they were informed. They were given all of the information about it. But you notice, they picked up early claims. They picked up a few items, but then it was just silence. They would not follow up. Now, when they're dropping articles, it's good to have more people know about this, but a lot of this, it's misinformation.
I just read the super chat. Oh my God.
Megan returns. I thought what was funny is when you popped out, you were like, and went like that, and I was like, did I just freeze up again? Laura
I
Owens,
need to
thanks for
change
5.
my avatar. I need to go back to Robot Fox. Here, there we go. That's better.
Putting my nose into it is how this all started. Oh Lord, that's hilarious. Sandra D, awesome. Thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate you, Sandra. Thank you. Rosalind, too. Thanks for the 10. Friends, don't let friends get Laura to pass it on.
That's good, Rosalind.
MC, thanks for the 5. Breadstick money. Love you guys. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Love return, by the way. Appreciate you. Heather, thanks for the 2. She was morally bankrupt. A bunch of hypocrites. Indeed. Indeed. Catherine, thanks for the 5 there. I completely agree, Megan. I have 3 boys, and I'm worried about their dating future. Yeah. I'm worried, especially what I see coming out of colleges and everything else, you know. And then the new rules that were put in. Actually, a lot of rules were stepped back. That's what happened. You know, they let them lapse, or they took other ones out. And essentially, it allows false allegations. It allows colleges to remove due process. It's messed up. Rosalind, thanks for the 5. I'm sick and tired, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Indeed. Heather, thanks for the 5. Dave G will be using soup kitchens if he doesn't stop this madness. I think there's already many comments and actions that could get him disbarred. He's like, man, I'm going to get paid before I go out.
See, the thing is that he gets, he walks that line really tightly, almost as tight as Laura Owens, one might say. He walks that line very closely, and he does things like he walks back what he just said a sentence later. So he has the ability to argue that he didn't say the thing you just heard him say, because then he qualifies it a sentence later, like he did when he said, if I had the facts and evidence to support this belief, I would file this thing about Judge Mata, but I'm not sure it's worth it. You see?
It's a nasty tactic that he engages in.
It's bad. So, but I think that he is skirting that line really carefully, and I don't know if the bar has the balls to actually make him stop it.
I would hope so, sooner or later, because it sounds like he has a history of doing all this craziness. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this. Somebody asked about this here on the what the hell.
Oh no, I didn't. Was there an update?
They had the town council meeting, and there's somebody that comes in and they look like they have an umbrella mask, like a mask. Yeah.
No
Somebody
way.
walks in. Yeah, because I even commented on it. I was like, that mask man was gorgeous. I thought that was hilarious.
I gotta see that.
Yeah,
do you have a screenshot?
It's in the beginning. Let's see.
You didn't take a screenshot of that? You should add that to your intro.
Yeah, with me walking. I was like, somebody wrote me and they were like, were you in there for real? I was like, that actually wasn't me. That was just a very beautiful person walking through. It's right in the beginning. I can't find it right off the bat. You know, if you watch it, though, if you watch the first few minutes, it's in that corrupt member kicked off town council. Yeah, you should check it out, though.
I gotta find it.
I thought that was funny. But hey, Wendy, yeah, I did see that. That was not me. I did get a few people ask me, hey, was that? No, that wasn't me. Trina, thanks for the 2. Hope these streams between you continue. Oh, of course. Yes.
Sissy's not sharing her food.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be done in just a minute. We'll make our own. How's that sound?
Sissy got the
Aw.
The what?
The pepperoni pizza. I just want some pizza.
Well, we'll make our own pizza bites in a few minutes, okay? Go help with the... Oh, you won't... Well, we'll make our own.
Locked her door.
Well, we'll make our own in a few minutes, okay? You go watch your TV for a minute, and then I'll make us some for ourselves, okay? We'll have our own, and we won't have to share them with anybody. How's that sound? Yeah. We'll do a bestie bump. Bam. Come here. Give me a bestie bump real quick. Come here. We have a fist bump. We have our own fist bump. Boom. Here. Give me a fisty bump. Boom. Up. Fist. There. Okay. All right. Go.
No, it goes like this.
Yep. There you go. We have our own fist bump now.
It's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, but the streams definitely. We have fun. There's
Oh,
always
yeah.
stuff to cover.
The only thing that would stop me from streaming with Tug is if I found out he was in a throuple or possibly had cocaine all over his house. That might throw a wrench into it. But
Yeah, thanks. So I
then
wonder
again, maybe not. I don't know.
That's my lord. No comment on that case. I did a live stream last night talking about a bunch of this stuff. I was like, oh Lord.
Oh,
I found myself saying that a lot. I was like, oh God, no,
God.
no. Edge, thanks
We
to
need
the
to
team.
talk. We need to talk offline. Have
Oh yeah.
something to share.
Okay. Was it really Judge Matta's dad, or was he an LO fake? Was that the real dad?
That's a good question. You know what's funny?
Could have been a
about that?
plant. That would have been
Yeah,
interesting.
because I think I said this. I said, when I was giving you guys instructions about how to behave in court, do you remember when I was like, I wouldn't put it past them to hire people to be disruptors on purpose to make us look terrible. I never considered, though, that a plant could be in the audience. That's kind of brilliant. That's kind of brilliant to just spread a little rumor that he was Judge Mata's dad. Now that would be very scummy, but also I kind of respect that. That's a Better Call Saul move right there.
Well, I mean, people do. We've seen the creation of fake accounts alleging all kinds of insanity.
Puppets.
So
She loves puppets.
yeah,
She loves her Facebook puppets and.
yeah. So you see all the socks there. I never know. I mean, she has a lot of shoes. She probably has a lot of socks too. Debbie, thanks for the 5 there. Wouldn't she have to post a hefty bond to appeal? If she loses, she won't be able to claim she can't pay judgment? She's gonna.
I don't know the answer to that. What was the question again?
Wouldn't she have to pay a hefty bond to appeal?
I don't think so in this case because there wasn't a monetary judgment. Well, not yet anyway.
Not yet.
If she gets now
Let's
in
see what
most civil
happens with
cases, if there's an award, right? Let's say there's a money award and you want to appeal, then most of the time you have to put up a bond. I don't know what the bond rules are in Arizona. So yeah, maybe, but there's no money award right now. There will be. But collecting that's going to be pretty difficult too. It's not like a judge says you owe $150,000 and then you can just collect it. It's not the way it works, unfortunately. I wish it was.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that award is. Like we'll be finding out about all that stuff shortly enough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
I think Woodnick's team has until, what did they say, July something? Early in July to get it turned in.
July 8th or something like that.
Yeah. That's the day I come back from vacation.
They should have put it on the same day as the Planned Parenthood thing. That would have been really funny.
Laura.
Laura,
wait, let me read this in Laura voice. Hold on.
Hey, I fell 2 feet off that pony. It was abnormally high. Just like Clayton.
Oh no, allegedly. Vanessa, thanks for the happy birthday, Fire Goddess. Hey, it's your birthday there. Happy birthday to you, Fire Goddess. I appreciate you. Oh, you in chat earlier. Thank you. Appreciate you. Laura Owens again there. You want to hit that?
I found out later that horse is allergic to high levels of HCG, so obviously.
And here's Laura as well.
Oh God, there's another one.
History proves I'm only good at holding on to the front. And that's
Oh, no.
frowned upon at pony shows.
Oh no. Oh no. Sonny, thanks for the 5 there. She needs to stay away from rodeo. Even buckle bunnies have higher standards.
Buckle bunnies.
Rhea Ryan, thanks for the 2. He's the Mr. McGregor of litigators.
The
Peter
Mr.
Rabbit.
McGregor.
Mr.
The
McGregor.
Mr. McGregor of litigators. Yes, he's always losing to the rabbits and the. Oh, that's funny.
That is funny. Oh, here's Laura
That's
again.
good. Oh boy.
I told Gingras I'm sorry I ruined his vacay. I'm making it up to him with a trip. Just me and him, Iceland. Neither of us have been.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, there's some more Laura's too.
Oh, good.
Here's, yeah, I love them. I think they're hilarious.
Actually, you can easily recognize Gingras when he comes in a room. The sound of the 20 gold change and the aroma of the gallon of Axe body spray.
Here's one more.
Woodnick doesn't have appellant experience because he doesn't lose like Gingras.
That's the comment he got so pissed off about. The way he had to comment on it was just like that one, too. Becky, thanks for the 20. I'm done hearing TSL and his client's name. I'm so over them. They seek attention. Even negative attention is still attention. Let's focus on Clayton's win, Mike, Greg, and other victims. No more reaction to their blogs and posts. No. You shame and you destroy what they say. That's the thing.
Wait, there's no chance that we can stop covering what they're doing until this is totally over. When it's totally over, when there's no chance for her to come back and, like Glenn Close in the tub coming out, back from the dead, when there's no chance, then we can stop talking about it. But when they're still pulling this crap, no, we have to stay on top of it. Remember, folks, it was David Gingras himself who gave us the motivation and the clues to find more evidence of fraud. If we ignore him now, if we stop paying attention, what more could we miss?
He also motivated multiple people to come forward and say, hey, this did happen to me. And yeah, you keep spreading all this stuff about me. So I'm going to be motivated to show up in the courtroom. I mean, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. He did so much damage. But I mean, I do agree, focusing on Clayton's win for sure. I think laughing at her and her mess is focusing on Clayton's win. No, yeah, it is. But Mike, for sure. I want to go over like Greg's case for sure, and everything there too. All of it. Indeed. I definitely agree with that part too. Casey, thanks for the 5. I say we settle the appeal via rap battle between Megan and Laura. Extra points for best vocal fry and facial expressions. You're going to have to work on your vocal fry.
Rapping is for poor people. I don't rap. I ride horses. And the music I listen to is, wealthy people music. I don't listen to that disgusting street music. No,
I would love to see a horseback rap battle. That would be awesome. Well, it'd be like the first of its kind. Heather, thanks for the team.
However, Chase J. Jones does listen to rap, and when I'm pretending to be him, I sing a lot of rap songs with the N-word specifically.
Oh no. Hashtag yikes. No more super chats till the end. Well, thank you, Heather. Ray, thank you for the 5 there. Evidence received at trial to support that finding. Does he actually think the judge can't consider the evidence in prior pleadings? Maybe he does.
Yeah,
that.
I think he does think that.
Yeah, maybe he does. Have you seen the YouTube interview with Laura and her mom on the Jordan Belfort channel? its 8-minute mark is laughable. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I
don't
saw
think
it.
I've
I was
watched it.
so bored. I watched the whole thing, but I was so bored. I don't
Was
remember
it?
laughing ever.
Maybe I'll look back and see if it's funnier in retrospect after everything. K-Rab thinks of 5. Gingrich lied about Matta having a rating of 2 on the roving. She isn't rated. They rate circuit court, district court, magistrate judges, not family court judges. Didn't they have a rating on that? Or
No,
does
she
that
was
have an
rated.
individual? Yeah, okay.
She had a rating. It was 2 at the time. Now it's 7 because there a bunch of other people
Well,
went and
There
gave
also
her
weren't that many.
lots of stars.
There weren't a lot of ratings on there too.
Right.
Yeah. Renit, thanks for the 5. Cheddar breadstick money. Enjoy you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta get the cheddar breadstick money always. Thank you. Jill, thanks for the 20 there. Let's see. Keep on doing what you're doing. So Megan, subscribe to your local chat too.
Thank you. Well, welcome to the locals chat. It's fun in there. It's also weird, but funny.
Man, I'm terrible at like reading like what that actually says sometimes, but I got that
I
one. That was
know.
good. Yes, you did great on that, Jill. That was really good. Laura, here's Laura again. Oh man, Gingrich likes her. Really likes me. Hey, maybe you can have that Iceland trip. That would be really nice.
It's like the Sally Field. He likes me. He really likes me.
Terry thinks the 3 months tug. You have to tell Megan the story of a bug trying to hide donuts in your car. Oh yeah, that was so hard. I almost had an accident.
I don't know the story.
Oh my God, it was happening the other day. So we got some donuts. I thought, yeah, they've been asking for stuff, and she has this little thing of she will get in a donut box and she will either lick the icing off or she'll scrape off just the icing and then throw it back in the box. And I'm like, look, you can't do that with these. I've got to set them in the back seat. Don't do it. She's like, I won't, Dad. I won't. So I get in, and when I go to retrieve the box of donuts, I notice right away, there's a couple of them that are missing the tops. I was like, oh my God. But she tried to hide evidence. Not only had she had tried to throw them under the seat, but she tried to get creative. She didn't try to throw them under the seat in front of her. She tried to throw them under the driver's seat from her side of the car. So she was tossing them to try to hide
So she was
them.
setting you up like she set her sister up with the cookies.
Oh, she is such a little menace too. She's slick
Oh,
at
that's
it
funny.
too.
Did she only
Yeah.
eat the tops of them? That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
she
frosting
wants the
part.
top. Yeah, she just wants the good
Well,
part.
that's
But
the good part. That's the good
I mean,
part.
she'll get all the donuts, and she'll just eat the tops of them, and then she'll flip them over in a box like nothing happened to them. And you go up, and you're like, "What the heck happened to the donuts?" Or, if she knows if she does 1 or 2 that way, do that. But if she ever gets into a bunch of them, she'll hide them. I'm like, "Where did you hide them?" And
Oh,
she's
that's
like, "I
funny.
don't know, Dad." And so finally, the last time she did that in the house, I found like 2 hidden in a flower pot. And I was like, where are these coming from? Where are all these donuts from? What are you doing, girl?
That's funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious about stuff. She's so cute, So when she gets in trouble, she's like, she puts on, she knows, she'll tell me all the time, I'm really cute, aren't I, Dad? I'm like, you are. And she's like, you wouldn't ever want to see me sad if I'm in trouble, right? And I'm like, what did you do?
So funny. Yeah. Oh no, what did you do? What am I walking into?
Yeah, what are you
Are
narking
all the
yourself out for?
spices all over the floor again?
Oh Lord. I mean, she likes to get into stuff, and she just, oh Lord.
Okay, I think I know what the confusion is with the rating. K-Rab says Judge Mata isn't rated. That is a review. There's 2 different types of reviews or ratings on the page. One is by lawyers, and she doesn't have any. She has nothing for other lawyers. The other one is for general public. And general public, she had a rating of 2, and now she has 7.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. The no rating is for lawyers.
Travis, how you doing, Travis, man? Thanks for the fun there. It's been a while, Tug, but this chicken maze hammer seemed normal. Finally off probation. I don't know. YouTube keeps canceling my subscriptions, man. It sucks there. I'm glad to hear from you, dude. I'm glad you're. Like I said, you talked a little bit before. Travis. Travis is a success story. Props to you, my friend.
I have heard that. That people saying that they think Laura's worse than Amber Heard, which is amazing. Because would you ever think that someone could be worse than Amber Heard?
It's hard to say one monster is worse than another monster.
Well, the reason why she's worse is because she's admitted to criminal acts on the stand under oath.
See, but at the same time, man, I mean, we're talking about a person that took a person's finger and used their face as an ashtray. Yeah, I mean, the level of violence.
That's hard to decide.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking false allegations. Again, I don't want to say she's not as bad. She is worse in specific elements. My God, a serial offender again.
Maybe Amber is worse because she did not get caught in outright, perjury. And like
I saw
Laura,
Bruce,
at least
that's why I was laughing at.
I will not be ignored. As if.
I like that. Vicky, thanks for the tea. I saw it was you. I knew you'd love it. Yeah, I like that. Talking about the what the hell's thing. I thought that was funny. Fair for all. Thanks for the 20 there. Laura, all you had to do was go to a doctor. Stop this nonsense. I don't know if any man looking for a relationship would take this on. I hope not. I hope there's not people joke about that. I can fix it. I hope there's nobody thinking that. And Jack's mom, thanks for the two. Did you see the joke list team up with MS Law? I saw the joke list pop up on something, but I just got bored, so I didn't really.
She's so boring. I can't even. I
She's
can't
really
with the boring. I have to stick to things that make me laugh, and she only makes me laugh, sometimes with the crazy emojis and stuff. But I'm just bored now.
Yeah, when I got bored, I don't know. So I saw somebody talking about it. I didn't remember who, but I didn't catch all of it because, like I said, I got bored there. I've been waiting for. I've been keeping up with videos though. That's how I'd seen the person with the umbrella mask, and then people started messaging me about it. I was like,
It's so
that's
funny.
so
I
weird.
want to
Yeah.
see that.
All right, but anyway, that's the end of those. I'm gonna end here. I think it's been a good stream, and make sure I want to end with this. Make sure you check out that PJ Media article. That's a good one. Hype up the numbers,
Get that up there and trending again, folks. We can do it.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
We joke about it, but it really does it has value because it says, hey, this is an important story. Keep with it.
And so many people will read that Stupid People article, and it doesn't have any meat in it. It doesn't really tell you what's going on. They're going to read the U.S. Weekly, and that's the thing that's going to make all the rounds. And truthfully, and I know that they don't know what's going on. They don't have a clue. So if they read PJ Media's article, the one that I wrote, they're going to get all the actual facts of this case. And that's the one we need to be out there. So thank you. Keep sharing it. Thanks, Tug.
Keep sharing it. Make sure it gets out there. But I'm going to end here. Appreciate you, folks. See you